Sweet.
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Charnick.
And we are live in the studio. At the Octagon, I should say. We're live in the Octagon.
This is kind of Octagon-ish.
Table is Octagon.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the Octagon thing. I haven't been in an Octagon in a minute.
We're not lying. Yes.
We're live in
Former
studio.
UFC fighter.
Well, you never know. They might call him out of retirement or something. They might offer him a big paycheck and say, come fight Hoist Gracie's great-grandkid.
$5 million.
Done.
All right, we know. Now we know
Mark,
a number. We have a number.
Make some calls while we're on the show, okay?
Eliot Marshall, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Local fighter here, I guess, and it's
No.
now was a local fighter. Now
Was
you're,
a local, yeah.
Now you got tons of gyms and all sorts of things going on.
I don't know what I do.
Entrepreneur. That was
Yeah,
That's a good
Yeah.
vague way to throw it.
That
out
used to
there.
be a bad
Author?
thing to say, and now it's the thing.
Entrepreneur was a bad thing to
Yeah,
say?
you
Oh,
were
I loved
kind
it.
of
I always-
like 20 years ago, you were a loser. That just meant
That was
you were
me.
a
I
broke.
was then. That was me. I was.
Oh, so
calling
you had
myself an
4 years of liberal arts training in college, and then you just decided you didn't know what to do, so you called
So you call
yourself
yourself an entrepreneur.
Got it.
It's very. Yeah, it is one of those kind of like catch-all phrases.
You're not that guy, though.
Me?
You're not the guy who uses the word entrepreneur as just
I don't
a
even like
moniker.
the word.
Oh.
I don't even like. I don't know. I don't
get
dislike the
called
word.
that.
I don't consider myself an entrepreneur.
Why was it the third word in the bio you sent me yesterday then?
Man, ChatGPT, dog.
Hey, I forgot about this.
ChatGPT. Come on, I said, hey, ChatGPT, write me a bio. You know,
they're like,
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even read it. I just copied and pasted
Awesome.
it and sent it to
and then
him.
I copy
Do
pasted
you
it.
use ChatGPT?
I do, yes.
Yeah.
No,
you
I'm
ha-
trying not to. I'm trying not to as much as possible.
Is that why
I
there was
know-
no text in the card today?
This show is worldwide.
Oh, did I forget to put text in?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
When I don't have time to do something,
There
I'll
was
run it through
supposed to
there.
be.
No.
But for the most part, I'm trying to write. On
I'm
my
a
own.
bad writer.
Yeah.
So I'm
Oh,
a bad
okay.
writer.
Gotcha.
I'm terrible at almost everything I do,
I got you.
other than
What?
a couple of things. I do a couple things well.
Well, that's, as long as you know, as long as you're aware of it, I guess that's the most important part. But in general, the whole AI thing is like we're at the beginning of it, and I feel like I can see how quickly it's going to kill the next generation of intellectual people being able to just think, because now they're thinking it's saving them time, but really what it's doing is it's taking.
Yeah, but I
away-
write really good emails because of ChatGPT.
right, but
I make really good Instagram captions, and when my friend calls me and says, "Hey, I need a bio," I say, "Done. Say less." Boom.
Well, for the
button.
for the bios and certain things, they definitely, and like resumes, yes, of course, because you kind of want to sound like a robot anyway, otherwise you don't get the job. But whenever I'm doing stuff, I kind of write like I talk, so it's
Yeah, but
very-
you haven't used it enough. So it's ChatGPT. I
learns
write
it.
it. I write it, and then I go say, "Write this better," in my voice, and it does it. And
See,
it,
I'm so scared of that.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to give up my voice.
you
I'm
should
like,
try. You should.
no.
You should put your name in.
You're going to say that, write it better,
Yeah.
and my voice is going to come out
weird.
speaking it. That's what's going to happen.
My favorite
that's
thing
the
to do on
exact opposite of
ChatGPT is
better.
roast myself.
No shit.
It roasts me, and it does it, and it destroys you. It does it so well.
That's
Mark,
good. Narrow it.
tell ChatGPT to roast you so
to
we
roast
can laugh
Dave,
at you for a
obviously.
few minutes. I don't need ChatGPT to do that. I'm pretty easy. at that.
Chat GPT. We have chat. It's called ADS chat.
Yeah.
They can tear.
Yeah.
They're good at me.
We don't need
got
the
our-
edge.
check
We have
gang.
the whole chat gang. to
It'll
do
be
it.
2 or 3 of
They
them.
take,
We
they
got.
take them to
chatbots
task
all
every
day.
week. It's
That's good.
amazing. So
They're so funny.
there we go. We got the photo already up.
You like
Bring,
that one?
explo-
Elliot plays
expand the-
poker.
Expand the
I
photo.
used to
little
play
bit, yeah.
poker.
Did you ever see
I
Dave?
forgot about it.
Did you ever
Okay.
see Dave with his jacket on?
No.
We never ran into each other in a car.
No, but I do. You know what I do? I do poker fundraisers that you should come to.
Right on.
Yeah.
I will do that.
I mean, you don't win all the money. You
I
have the money.
understand
Half
that.
the money
There he
goes
is.
to yeah.
There he is. He's
I
at the table.
understand.
He's waiting.
Nice.
so I met Elliot. It has to be now. 18 years ago?
No.
Yeah, when
19.
Jonah first started.
Yeah, but that's got to be longer than that.
So Jonah is 30,
Yeah.
and
He was
much
8.
longer.
Like
He was
6
8.
or 7 years old.
Yeah,
Jonah,
7.
AKA
So 23 years
Yeah.
ago.
Spawn
Um,
of.
I used to. Well, no. This is what I used to do. Jonah was really into. He would watch Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the UFCs with me, and no one taught Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Boulder. No one. There was your, karate for kids, and that was it. They'd stand in line and do katas. That was it. I found Easton Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over by the 28th Street Mall, 29th Street Mall. And I went in, and I said, do you do any kids' classes? And he says, no. And I said, how come? He goes, I have 2 students. That's all it was. It was him training 2 other people. And I don't think you were one of them just yet.
Not yet.
And so I said, well, here's my number. I'd love to be able to just stay in touch. And if you ever do build up your program to train kids, my kid would love it. And I kept calling. And after 6 months, he said, Amal says to me, his name's Amal Easton. He says, I got this guy. He's going to be the kids' teacher. He just came in. I'm just going to work with him a little longer. And when I came in, it was Elliot. And he started teaching just my son and Xian. And I actually saw her parents.
Yeah.
I want to say like during the plague, just right after the plague or something.
Just after the plague, you said?
Yeah, the COVID. In Costco.
Okay.
Walking around.
Yeah.
And so Jonah took classes for a few years along with
Xian?
and someone. Well, then Todd's kid,
Todd, yep, Dorfman.
Max Dorfman.
I went to lunch with Todd the other day.
And nice. Tell him I said hello.
I will.
And that was the beginning. Then all of a sudden I turn on the TV some years later, and it's the Ultimate Fighter. And who's on the Ultimate Fighter but Elliot in like Big Brother for Ultimate Fighters. So it was fun to watch your progression.
No, I was not in the Big Brother. I was on an original season.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it was kind of like
it
was a reality
Yeah,
show
it's
for
100% for fighting.
for fighters going through.
I started as the cleaner before I started teaching, because I had no money, and I met Amal before he had opened his school at a karate school. He was teaching out of a karate school called Karate America, and I trained for like a month, and then truth be told, I got my first girlfriend, and
Didn't you marry her?
No, and and then
That was that.
that was that for a minute, and then she broke up with me. So then that was that again, and
The drive was back.
so then I was like, oh man, I need to do something before I just sit here and cry all day. And I walked in, and Amal was like, man, it's your lucky day.
I got this guy that's been pestering me. And
No, my cleaner just quit.
Oh.
My cleaner just quit. So, yeah. And that's how it started for me. So I've gone from cleaner to owner.
That's good. That's a good way to do it too. 'Cause
yeah.
If you come in the opposite way, you don't ever not there in the trenches with the right people.
Yeah, I've had to do every job at the school,
Yeah.
right? Like, there's not a job at the school that I have not experienced, I guess.
Yeah, it's fundamental stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then what year was that?
That was 1999.
Okay, that was a epic year.
That was 1999.
I was living in Europe.
When I graduated high school.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's when the euro kicked. It's when the euro kicked in and fucked the whole program up over in Europe.
You all right over there, Dave?
No, of course he's not.
This is normal.
I will.
Oh, how's that hash?
So hash is really good, but I'm wondering. I'm like trying to get inside Elliot's head right now. Going,
Go ahead.
since he never watched the show,
Yeah.
did he expect us to sit here and get high the whole time?
Like,
Even though I
do we
told
do
him.
anything else other than get high?
We talk.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
we have
Yeah,
conversations.
I mean, it's just that is the core of the show, right?
Yeah.
That's why I said to Dave, I was like, so what's the connection with cannabis here? And he's like, well, he's appreciative at least, right? So
Look, I'm a believer that you do what you want with your life as long as you're not hurting anybody, and it should, So if you want to,
We bumped into each other at one point in time, and I remember us having a conversation where you were just like, yeah, I smoke too much pot sometimes.
Me?
And, yeah.
I must have been young still. I've never
Yeah.
smoked too much pot recently in the last 20 years.
Well, it was a long time
It was
ago.
a long time ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So that answers the question of how long ago it was.
Yeah.
Definitely more than 19 years.
Whew, yeah. I mean, as a kid, who knows? As a young man, maybe a little bit, but
And in the world of UFC fighting and all the injuries you guys have, how come THC, CBD, cannabinoids are not more just completely readily available, almost
Oh.
like distributed by UFC physicians to people?
because it's regulated by your commissions are regulated by states, right? So to get licensed to fight, you have to pass the state commission's restrictions, right? Like, so since it's not federally legal, right? Since weed's not federally legal, like in Texas, it's not legal, right? So if you're high, if you have weed in your system, any cannabinoid in your system, and you're going to Texas, you're going to have a problem.
Who was the fighter that after he would fight, he would get up and give the press conference afterwards and smoke a vape pen?
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz.
Definitely
Yeah.
Most
Look,
vocal.
yeah, for sure. But that was after he took his drug test, and that was after,
Mm-hmm.
so Yeah. So
he
to make
recognized.
Sure and look, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Do your thing.
I love it.
Well, I mean, when you compare it to all the pharmaceuticals that these guys had to deal with over the years, especially back in the day when they were just pumping people up, like,
Oh, I'm from the steroid era of fighting.
Yeah, so I mean,
sure.
Well, that's all, and that's for, but I'm just thinking also recovery-wise, where they were, give instead of smoking a joint or doing some edibles and those things, cannabinoids. At that effect, when you're trying not to move, it's perfect. You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, for sure.
So I could see it working. So which UFC was the one that you were in?
Oh, I was in a bunch. So I was on the Ultimate Fighter, and then afterwards, I have 6 fights in the UFC. So some fight nights, but 20 years ago. So no. When did I retire? The end of 2011. So
I'm sorry, I have to laugh. Being that I met you when you were so young, and you say the words out loud, I had to retire.
Yeah.
That to me, that boggles my mind.
I've never had a real job though, so
good.
It is,
good.
I don't do not my thing.
You guys built a really nice studio.
Man, we just luck. Timing meant preparation, is what happened with us with our story. I retired, like Amal had a couple of schools, 3 smaller schools. I retired in the end of 2011. I needed something to do with my life. I always wanted to teach. I was pretty good at it. I bought a building down on Santa Fe, and then it just took off. It just took off. The whole scene exploded. We all worked really hard. I have brothers that I love that run the company now, that are started as our students, and I don't know what to say other than like my thing worked out, and that's what has made my life.
Have you gotten it to the point right now where your businesses run themselves?
Oh yeah, I do my thing.
You just show up.
I just show up, teach classes, shake hands, kiss babies, train some athletes. I'm a lot heavy into basketball now because my kids are into basketball. So like I don't know if I went.
Now Mark's excited.
I think I was.
All right.
Yeah, I think I think because of basketball and my older son, I think I was in once in July just because we had so much travel, maybe twice. And then
How old's your son?
He's 15. He's a freshman.
Okay.
So, shout out to my son. He's killing it right now, working really hard.
That's cool that he plays basketball.
Yeah.
Jonah being 6'4", going through the whole basketball thing. I remember it's you get that little watching your kid. His kid is just a master safecracker, crypto person,
Okay.
Digital high tech, espionage. Did you walk in through the barbecue?
Well, I went
past
to
his
Pete.
son?
No, I
he's
didn't.
not here.
Oh, because he would have already had all your credit cards
Oh, he would've
copied,
taken, yeah.
everything like that, your cell phone
Key fobs.
history,
Awesome.
any key fobs to your. Oh yeah, he drives a nice car
I
too.
know,
So
he would have saw that.
you know.
Howdy, keep up.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, my business. We have a CEO. We have a COO.
That's
whole leadership
fantastic.
Team. Yeah, I'm just kind of, I'm the old figurehead.
Well, it's good. I mean, and also if I think about it too, timing-wise, you were right on it too, because it was kind of like they're, now pretty established, but there was a time period where it was like all of a sudden it was like the hot thing was.
Yeah, and we took advantage of it.
And it was because there was a guy named Roberto that used to have a studio at his spot, and he had a thing called Roberto's List, which he would do for cannabis, where he would, if you had legal weed in the market, he would shift, have a sort of a almost like a, he'd have buy and sell all the different things, but he also was really into jiu-jitsu and his whole crew, and it was just fun to work because we had kind of shared the space together.
Sure.
And it was. I've tried to put Nick in the beginning. He was too young, and he was the smallest kid, and he was just getting crushed. He was like, nah, not interested right now.
Yeah, look, my kids did it for a little while, and my youngest said once he hates it, and that one I said he's not allowed to say. Like you can dislike it, and that's totally fine. You don't have, I'm not gonna force it upon you. I don't want to bad.
He's choking you out.
Yeah. But like I met his mom at a job that I had because of jiu-jitsu, and then like everything we have in our life is because of jiu-jitsu. Like there's nothing. My whole life is set up around jiu-jitsu, like so like he would have nothing without it. So including so
you were incredibly dedicated throughout all those years. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot of everything going on around then. There were many different personalities coming in and out of that school. The one thing you were was always dedicated, and you were always great with the kids, and you helped build their program. So it didn't surprise me when I bumped into you that day, and you went, "Oh yeah, I kind of bought the business."
Yeah, I bought into the business,
into
right?
the business.
Like, so Amal's still around. He's still, we're the two majority shareholders of the business. But you move and you shift and you pivot, and I've been lucky enough to do that in my life. Like it just.
Well, it's also good that you like what you're doing is healthy too, so it's a good combination. It's like it's not like you're into something because it's making you money. You're into something because it's like a lifestyle
I do it
thing,
because I love it,
and then it becomes the money.
I don't do anything I don't love.
Then the money comes.
Yeah, I don't do anything I don't love.
Yeah,
Like that's just like, I will not attach my dollar to my hour. Like this is a rule that I have. So like I'm not doing that because time you can't get back. So I don't trade money for time.
Health is the new wealth.
Yeah, I want to be healthy. My goal currently is to play with my grandchildren. Like I have a goal for like if my kids choose to have kids, right? Like that's not all this is dependent on me, obviously. I want to play with them. I want my Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday, so I want my Thanksgiving table to look a certain way. I want to go to Maui. We have a house in Maui. I want to play in the pool and throw the football and do the things and whatever the kids want to do and play. And I want to cook the dinner. When I cook the dinner, when we eat, we're going to sit down. I'm going to be at the one head of the table. My wife's going to be at the other head of the table, and my family's going to be there. And I'm going to be healthy enough, God willing, whatever you believe in, to be able to do that. And I'm trying to work hard to make sure those things happen.
I love that.
Yeah.
I at 55,
yeah,
I have my first bouts of sort of, nothing's wrong with me, but I recognize mortality. And I listen to how medicine is progressing right now. And the biggest takeaway I can get from everything is they say, don't die in the next 15 years. If you can stay alive for the next 15 years, there's going to be so many advances in treatments that really are the precursors and the causes to early death that they're going to have kind of a riddle into.
I don't want to be old, though. I don't want to be old and sick like that, or young and sick. Like I want to be healthy. And
when my pit bull passed, Penny, she was 12. She was totally healthy. She gave no signs anything wrong. I was gone for 2 days at a conference, came back, took her out. She hopped up on the couch. 30 seconds later, she was gone. She laid her head down on my lap. That's the way I want to script my ending.
Yep.
I don't want anybody coming to see me in a hospital.
Nope.
I don't want to get some diagnosis and know that you have some finite amount and you can try all these fucking things. Nope. I just want to, one day, one moment, the lights go out. And that's that.
And we know that that's probably not happening for us, right? Because most people suffer on the way out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the goal. That would be an amazing way to go out. I want my kids there. I would like to say bye to my kids.
I say you say goodbye to them every day you see them. Every day's a gift.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I see him every day still.
I was reaching out to Carl, who's right now he's in the Ukraine, but he moved to Brazil. He's my friend from Amsterdam. He's one of these people who's so passionate about whatever he does.
Mm-hmm.
He just goes full hilt.
Yeah.
And he was doing glass blowing, and he ended up teaching like top at Stanford University, top glass category and scientific glass and everything. Then he ended up he was into Jiu-Jitsu, and he ended up moving to Brazil, living in the favela. He was on the show from the favela, the only white guy in the favela. I'm like, this kid is crazy.
That's
man.
what Amal did. Amal moved to Brazil.
Yeah, and he went deep. And now him and a bunch of Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys went to the Ukraine to go fight for the Ukrainians.
Oh,
so
wow.
Like I said, passionate.
What he goes in heavy.
He goes in heavy. He's like, I'm like, what are you doing right now? He's like, oh my God. So anyway, I reached out to him. So
I remember the stories he's told. He's a fun guy. He tells a good. But I was remembering something, and my brain works in strange ways. We were at the studio one day, and you came over to me and you said, you have to come back Wednesday night. And I said, why? They said, you said, Amal's getting his brown belt. Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And Henzo Gracie was Amal's teacher, right? Am I remembering correctly? Or was it Hickson? It was one of the Gracies was his teacher.
Henzo was his teacher, but Henzo didn't give him his brown belt in Colorado.
Well, he came here. One of the Gracies came here.
No, Seneca. It was Amal's teacher. One of Amal's teachers, Seneca.
And they put him to work that night, and they present him. I'm pretty sure, or I came back the next day and he had his brown belt.
Yeah, yeah. He got his brown belt here from Seneca and Henzo, and then we went, and then Amal, Jay, and I.
Jay Jacks.
Yeah, Jay Jack.
Jack.
Amal, Jay, and I went to New York when Amal got his black belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not. We were done.
Left,
and we were done by then. But it was so great to watch because I could watch you. I mean, I know you weren't going all out on the mat, but there were times that there was serious competition occurring.
Oh yeah,
that we got to watch.
That was the beautiful thing about jiu-jitsu, especially when I started in America, we were still trying to prove that the art was valid. Like everyone in Brazil knew, so that wasn't a thing. But in America, it was still in the late '90s, early 2000s. It was still very traditional martial arts heavy.
I think the moment that Hoist Gracie kicked the shit out of everyone,
for me it changed. Yeah, for you it changed. But as far as like our adult intro class, when I was teaching intro classes as a white belt and blue belt, was we tried to pick a fight with people to show them the validity. Like, yo, this shit works. So like we would sit there and be like, yo, all right, here's an arm bar, here's the mount, here's the back. You want to do this?
Oh my gosh, I'm remembering. I don't think you were there, or maybe you were there that night, that a guy came in to the studio. Who was the girl that was amazing who was there?
Heather?
Maybe it was Heather, maybe that was her name. And some guy came in and was talking smack.
Yeah.
And so Amal had Heather fight him, and he put his hands up like he was going to fight with fists. And I think Jay stepped in and goes, look, we grapple here. There's no punching.
No, that's not what Jay's. There's no way Jay said that.
Or that it was someone else.
He was like, look, no. Yeah. He's like, look, you can't hit her. If like it was a girl, he's like, you can't hit her, right? If you want to punch, then you're going to do that with me. So
yes,
totally
yes, like, that's exactly what he said.
We begged people to punch, to like actually fight, and it's just so different now. But
I think it took 12 seconds.
What's that? Yeah, because if you don't know what you're doing, it's like not knowing how to swim.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know how to swim and I throw you in a pool, you're fucked. Yeah. Like you're drowning every time.
It's crane style. If done correct,
unless you're a baby, then you're just gonna instinctively just lay on your back and be perfect. You're like, look at that.
That's what I would do. I would say, don't hit me.
Yeah. Well, I said baby.
That's the beauty of jiu-jitsu is there's no luck aspect to it. Like we're if you and I are going to stand up and punch each other, I mean, there's a possibility that yours lands before mine, and
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not, but there's still a possibility.
The chat is saying, "Show us on Dave, please."
Okay, we would, but you see, it's actually the reason we can't. It's Elliot's attorneys because he had to register his hands as lethal weapons.
That's not true.
It's close to true.
Was that ever true though? Was that
no, it was never true. But you can just get in a lot of trouble.
I think you can insure it because it's your thing. You make all your money.
Oh, he can insure his hands. I'm saying he's not registered like if he hurts somebody.
That has never been true.
No,
I know.
Like that is just like an urban legend.
I know. Well, it's funny too because it was like when we were kids. It was literally
right.
like we all kind of
Everyone
heard that.
It.
Nobody. There was no way to sort of figure out if it's true or not.
I'm gonna go confront my friend.
Oh, you have a friend who says that?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's total bullshit.
Exactly.
It all what it means is
I'll get in more trouble than you.
Sure.
Yeah,
I got you.
Like I'll definitely get in more trouble than somebody.
Yeah.
But like as far as like I'm not registered.
No, you know what
That's
you
hilarious.
are? There's 20 years of video evidence that you shouldn't be ever getting into a fight physically with a muggle unless you were truly defending yourself.
Unless I'm defending myself. Yeah. I can't fight.
Well, I mean, if you had to register your weapons and you're a pothead, would you have to like
No, then you can't.
Yeah,
'cause
you can't.
You
I
can't
know,
check the
right?
box
Like,
because
exactly,
it's illegal.
right?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't be
You'd
a
have to
You
bootlegger.
can't register your own
Are
hands,
you guys
man.
not allowed? You guys are allowed to have weapons, right?
No,
It's starting
it's-
to crack a little
It's
bit.
cracking a bit.
But
no,
it's,
no. I believe, I'm not an attorney, we'll get Jeff Guard on. You might be able to own a firearm at home. You certainly cannot get a concealed handgun license if you have a medical card.
Right.
Okay? If you're a recreational user of anything, it'd be very difficult for them to do
To
anything
prove
to you.
anything, right?
But if you are openly filling out that federal form that says you're not addicted, right? I don't know what the thing is for a concealed hand. You have to check. There's something on there because we had on Trip. Remember,
Yeah.
we had Trip Kieber on.
It's very
from
interesting
Dixie,
though, because you can drink alcohol and be a carrier.
because
can do
alcohol's not
Roxy's,
federally
you can do all sorts of
illegal.
Yeah.
yeah, and you can do all sorts
Yeah.
of drugs.
There are a lot of other things you can do, but they just can't test for those
Nice.
things. The
Right.
thing is that
Just kidding.
cannabis stays in your system for quite some time.
Sure.
Actually, that would be an interesting thing to test how long cannabis stays in an athlete like Elliot, somebody who is burning through, tons of calories and replacing your cells all the time versus pretty much like a lazy sack like myself. How long would it stay in the system comparably? I think you would test
The
it.
athlete's gonna go. It's gonna push faster.
Correct.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, Dave ain't moving.
No,
Be there for years.
years.
Years and
Yeah.
years.
Well, but that would imply that I would have to, right, not smoke for several months just to test it. There's the test.
When's the last time you've not smoked for several months?
Not for 7 months, but
Several.
there was a long time I didn't smoke flower,
Okay.
especially over the plague.
Concentrates.
No,
Okay.
I didn't really even use concentrates then. I was really just using edibles on a daily basis, like on 20 to 30 milligrams.
Okay.
The plague scared the
Why do you
crap
call
out
it
of
the
me.
plague?
The pandemic, whatever it is. I
No, it's called the pandemic. Why do you call it the plague?
Because that's what it was. It was a plague.
He's an extremist. He loves to push.
Yeah.
You should have seen how many masks he was wearing when he was.
Oh, were you a masker?
5
Oh,
masks.
I would
on his
maxed up.
ears, on his
Are you
mouth,
still a masker?
No,
Okay.
in
that's
his own
good.
car?
but
by
I'm
himself.
also a Novid. I mean, knock wood. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't.
What's
but
a Novid?
never had COVID.
Oh, you just don't know, maybe. When's the last time you were sick?
I don't know.
Almost before the I had strep.
Ah.
You
throat.
haven't been sick since 2020?
We've done. Ask him. We have done a show every single Friday. Every single Friday
Couple
for
here, yeah, couple.
almost 7 years.
Okay.
When he was sick. That
I mean,
was-
I'm just asking because I
No,
don't.
no,
Like I
I'll
get
tell-
sick and I don't test.
I did. I when I got sick,
Oh, he tested.
a hippie
Don't
friend
worry.
of mine, she came to town. We had fun for a weekend, and 2 days later, I started feeling something in my throat, and I went for throat culture. I had strep throat. I had to take antibiotics for that. So that was
Sounds
my
like high
one
school.
sickness.
God, you've never had COVID, huh?
No,
Have you had COVID?
Yeah, got it once. Got it once.
but he had the early strain and
I'm a
probably got the
three-time
I got the
COVID world
Omicron.
champion.
I got the,
Yeah.
he has the most. I got Omicron, and it was
Omicron.
I was
Whatever,
a super
Omicron.
spreader.
you.
Yeah.
At your spot.
Man, I was a super spreader of COVID. So
Oh, play some music, Mark,
Yeah.
before this starts, man. Something? Anything?
Super shredder sound.
Nothing?
I go
Super, he ain't Superfly.
and I was not safe by any means. Like I was going to the UFC, like I was coaching fighters, going to the UFC, going to events, and
Weren't they super?
Did they ever count how many people you actually killed
No,
with the COVID?
Weren't they
No?
super like testing
Yeah,
on
0.
that time? I imagine they'd be testing like crazy.
yeah. So
out there.
it was crazy. You got tested every day and
Yeah.
night and locked away in the hotel. But that's not how I super spread. I super spread because I go and whatever it was, April or something, I go and I get my first shot of the vaccine. And then, Sunday comes along and I'm like, oh man, I don't feel good. I was like, vaccine symptoms, like whatever. I'm like, man, next day, oh fuck, I really don't feel good, but all right, whatever. Go teach, do my thing,
Yeah.
Oh, you got COVID right when you were getting the
right
vaccine.
when I got the vaccine.
Yeah.
Right? And so
It's not your fault.
No, it's not my
Suspicious.
fault because like if I hadn't gotten the vaccine, I would have stayed home.
Right.
Right? Because you're like, okay, I'm sick, I'll stay home. Like you get the vaccine, you're going to be sick a little bit, and you're like, I'm not sick, I just have vaccine symptoms.
Yeah.
And then I was by Wednesday of that next week, I was so fucking sick. I was like, yo, I'm gonna die.
I
Like,
wonder what it is. We should ask somebody like Scaldone when you get the vaccine right when you're actually getting infected.
No, I got infected first.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
so the vaccine wouldn't really
Yeah,
work
it didn't do
anyway.
anything.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything yet.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
yeah.
Well,
All right, it happens.
scientifically, it didn't do anything anyway. So that's the other thing. It did not stop it. So therefore,
Dr. Dunn.
it doesn't matter if you got it,
It
early
didn't
or not.
stop the spread of COVID.
Yeah.
That was their biggest mistake.
Which means you didn't get it, or you got it.
Now,
even
for
if you
some
had
people,
so.
they staved off death by having it.
Oh, I think, and you know, you're going to get a lot of hate on this one, or I will. It definitely staved off death and big sickness, but it didn't stop anybody from actually contracting COVID. And they should have just said that from the beginning. They should have just.
Well, that's one problem. But then now look where we are. And now if you start to really calculate the numbers, it's a lot different than what they said. So it's like
it's
I mean,
it's a
in
shit show.
Congress are saying 34,000 and a million.
We can't trust Congress.
34,000 deaths and a million
Can't
plus
trust
symptoms. You know, people with adverse reactions. So a million plus adverse reactions is a lot. That's not. You know, before when it was 15, they pulled it. They pulled it from the line. They were like, if you have 15 or more, we're pulling this product for the entire line. Now they're like, we had a million.
If I had to do it again, I don't think I'd make any different decision. I
Me
wasn't
neither.
scared of the vaccine. I wasn't scared of anything. I wasn't scared of COVID, and I wasn't scared of the vaccine. Look, everyone was scared of COVID in March of 2020, right, or April. You're like, whoa, what the fuck is this, right?
Actually, we were supposed to. Me, Adam, Mark, right? Yeah, all of us. We were flying to Barcelona, March 13th, 2020.
Yeah.
We had tickets to go, and what was it, the day before, right? I mean, pretty much.
It was
A little bit before, it was just like, you probably shouldn't happen. And our friends, Adam Weiss and Spencer, went, and they got stuck in those
I had to get 2 employees back. They got
photos.
They went to a fight. I want to say in Germany, and then they got stuck there, and I had to like finagle flights for them to get back to the United States because everything shut down.
Yeah, they flew back home on the 17th in this big cattle room of people when they were saying you shouldn't stand near anybody, and they were all scrunched together.
Did you guys travel at all during that time?
bit here and there.
No,
but not,
we
not-
went to Area 420 a few times.
It was
when-
crazy.
And early on.
Flying on planes with nobody
No.
on them was nuts.
Yeah.
And I was on the first show that opened up back in Vegas. Like I had a fighter on that show, walking around Las Vegas with nobody in it. Like it was like
It's
apocalyptic.
out of the stand.
It was apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Because like you're looking at these massive buildings that are meant to just like have millions of people, right? And you realized how big they were when it's you and 3 dudes walking through, but you know, the Cosmopolitan hallway, and you're like, what the fuck's going, you know? Yeah. And like there's nobody there.
It's kind of like it is right now in
film,
Vegas.
Perfect time to
No,
film a
Vegas
movie.
is crazy. I was just in Vegas last week. 2
Was it
weeks ago.
nice?
It was nuts.
They're saying everything is down in Vegas right now.
Well, everything is down. Industries are down. Like for example, Uber drivers aren't making as much money in Vegas. Well, that's because there's so many Uber drivers that
Right.
moved there. So like
Yeah.
they're all now because the supply is so high,
Uh-huh.
they all make less.
There are 50,000 Uber drivers in Las Vegas.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that is something.
Yeah. So I mean, I like Vegas for 2 days.
Yeah.
Everybody. That's
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
literally the max for
Yeah.
anybody.
But you can't be broke. You gotta have some money.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to go do what you want to do.
Well, that kills our idea.
Yeah,
You know,
damn.
when-
All right, you have to take us to Vegas then.
No, I don't take
We're going
anybody
with
but my
you.
wife to Vegas,
Oh,
dog.
I
Everyone
see how
else
it
has
is.
on your own.
See how it is?
Well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So what do you know? I don't think
Not
you can help me
often.
out.
It actually
Yeah.
comes back.
Yeah,
It
for sure,
stays
but
with
I
you
don't think you
forever.
can help me
It
out.
stays on the
No.
internet forever. Is
Yeah,
what I heard.
internet-
That's pretty
internet.
much, yeah. Whatever happens in Vegas stays on the internet forever.
Poker's always good in Vegas.
Yeah.
You can always
Because
find
we
a
always.
room.
So the thing is, it's like you have to go for like trade shows, and it's like okay, you got a trade show to go. You got something to do. Nobody goes to Vegas like just to. I mean, unless you're really sad, you're like, oh, let's go to Vegas for a weekend. It's like I don't think that's really happening. It's usually an event or something, and then it makes it kind of like I'm sure you're there pretty much for the same thing. You got to fight or
Not if you
go to
gamble.
see a fight or go do something gambling wise, or you know, it's work for you.
Look,
though.
it's an easy trip. I disagree with you. It's an easy trip. It has great food. Vegas has great food. And like, you know, if you just want to go away for 2 days, you go away for 2 days. You go to Vegas.
That's where I got married, so you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's why every time we go back, we're
Me
like,
too.
Also?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Little Whitechapel?
No,
Come
we went to the
on.
Vegas sign.
You gotta go to Little Whitechapel.
Yeah. We went to the Vegas sign.
We, when we went, I drove my limo out there. I had a super stretch limo, drove it from here to there and almost made it. Like, we were just outside of Vegas. And I was like, it fucking smells like burning rubber. Like, what is that smell? And I was like, oh, it's just the trains. Because when you come into Vegas, there's all those trains. And I was like, this is just the trains. It's no big deal. And then we're like, looked behind us, and there was a trail of smoke coming behind the car. And I look out the window, and the fucking wheel is red. Like, the wheel bearing is on fire, basically.
What happened?
It's a fucking limo, like, supposed to go, like, around town.
Sure.
Not on, like, these
Not
long
long
ass
trips.
I'm like, I'm treating it like a Learjet. Like, take me to Vegas, sir. I'll be laying down here in the back doing dabs.
So we know what's about to happen to the Adam Dunn Show RV then, right? You're going to drive
Well,
it way too
RVs are
much.
designed to drive long
Yeah.
distances. That's a difference.
But it came from
It's a diesel
Big
pusher.
Dummy, so I don't know.
Diesel pusher.
I don't know. Well, Elliot, we kept you for almost an hour, and the last thing I want to do is outweigh your stay. You want to give your how do people, if there's anybody locally or wants to train, how do they find
look,
you?
so our schools are called Easton Training Centers. What's that?
Where- Adam's going to learn. Adam wants to train with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
Our schools are called Easton Training Centers, so it's eastontc.com. And we take students from 4 years old up to, we got some 75-year-olds. So
Well, Jonah just texted me, said say hi to Elliot.
tell Jonah I said
Yeah.
hi. Is he married? Kids? How is
No, not yet.
Okay.
Lives in Denver.
Yeah.
Working at 14 or
Yep.
older.
Okay.
We'll see. I have the sort of the same goal as you. I would love to play with my grandkids someday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see if that happens.
Look, that whether the grandkids come is not on us.
No, definitely not.
Like I said, my goal is that I'm healthy enough that when they're at the age of playing, that I can still play for, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. You know,
Yeah, I think you're going to do just fine.
you got to get lucky, and then you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You got to get lucky, and then you got to take care of yourself. So,
I have a possibility of one of the two of those things.
which one?
The lucky thing.
Okay. All you got to do is
Track
take care of
record,
yourself a
not
little better.
so good.
Well, I know I was much bigger when we knew each other
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
All right.
We
guys.
shall see. Mark,
Right
did
on.
you want to arm
Are you
wrestle?
guys grillers? Who's Traeger's?
We'll get you set.
Well, I mean, it's
Barbecue.
barbecue. There's
Barbecue
a barbecue joint next door.
Yeah.
Barbecue and taqueria.
Oh yeah, I have 3 grills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check
I
out
have,
Vinny!
Go check out the
I have
Real
3
Grill.
grills. Yeah, I have a Traeger, I have a big egg, and then I have just a propane. So yeah.
Well, I'm sure Vinny will give you a taste if you pop over there.
Come
here.
Hey.
Yeah,
Nice.
his brisket last week was on point, man.
Yo. Oh, from one. It's a ding ding. We're going in this one.
Oh, he's
fighter.
got my buddy's shirt on. Yeah, Cody's school.
See, he was the one that wanted to come on. So
All right. I can stay for a little
There
bit. If we're
you
all
go,
talking.
just in
yeah.
time.
Okay, good. I like I said, we're bad about letting you go, and you said an hour.
no, he did the opposite. He did.
Yeah,
now he's trying to
we
kick you
started. I
off
don't know
the
when we
show.
started. We'll be fine.
Cool. Well, we have the organic cannabis wizard here again, back. You can jump on this side over here if you want.
Watch out for the crazy pit bull puppy. Come on, stop it. Stinker.
Welcome back, sir.
I'll get you on camera here
We'll
in
try
a
to
second.
figure out. Yeah, we'll get it lined up.
Thanks for having me. How's it going?
Vinny,
Good.
do you train at Cody's?
Yeah, I did
Nice.
for a while.
Okay.
So are you guys tight?
Yeah, Cody and I came up fighting together. I coached Cody in all of his UFC fights.
Oh yeah,
All right.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
You have to scoot in a little bit closer to Dave.
Did you sign the
There
release?
you go, right on.
Just in case Elliot has to defend me or something like that, I'm just making sure. I don't want anybody to get legally
I'm glad you
in
made
trouble.
it back. Just in time. I was already thinking he's gonna come in right at the ding. Here we go.
Oh,
Ding, ding,
perfect,
ding.
Perfect.
One fighter. In.
Yeah, I was training with Cody under his crew over there, which
Yeah,
is like
high altitude. Yeah.
which is all like I just did a little bit of watched fight of years before I stepped in
Okay.
here. So I was like, who is this guy?
Which fight?
The Vera fight.
The Verify.
That
Man,
you got robbed on.
All right, I agree with you.
You know what I mean? You broke dude's arm, right?
I knocked him down twice and broke his arm.
Yeah, you were pummeling him. It's
Oh,
like he got back
whooping
on
that
top,
ass.
but that's not what it was.
Yeah,
you
but he
were-
got
you were
back
go-
on top because his arm broke and came out, and then the fight ended.
Yeah, but if you would have had more time, he might have been on top for a second, and then I think you would have retook it. You know what
his
I mean?
arm was
Like,
broken.
Yeah, for sure. Like
He
that
didn't
was
fight for 11 months. Yeah, his arm, he was done.
If you'd have just had 30 more seconds or something, you know what I mean? That was.
But that's crazy, you know. But I would say that's probably one of the best thing that's happened to me because it forced me to, like, I wasn't going to be the champion, right? Like, I was not going to be the UFC champion. And so many fighters, you just you spend so much time chasing that when it's just not going to happen for you, and you don't make any money, and then, like, you can't go out getting fucked up. It's really hard to stop getting your ass kicked.
Right.
And I didn't get my ass kicked. They messed up the decision. I whooped his ass. And even if they didn't mess up the decision, fine, whatever. I don't want to say that.
Elliot, what was the date? Mark is Shitty Jamie, like from the Rogan show. He'll have it pulled up in a second, and we'll have the clip.
It was
running.
October 29th, something like that, of 2011. Maybe 27th or something like that. But
I
yeah.
know what we're talking about, so
Yeah.
I typed in a date into Google. What are we talking about?
Oh, Mark.
So, that forced me to shift my life. You know, it forced me to shift my life, and now here I am sitting here. So I'm not a big regret person.
Yeah, I
it's
never,
good. It's
I
good,
never
and
got
it's good that
out
you
of it.
recognize early in the whole fight game is literally like watching people who, you know, if they don't know when to pull out, they're just,
Which is almost everyone.
they're gonna fuck.
Mhm.
They're
Now,
gonna, that's when you know, they're gonna have permanent brain damage at some point. You know what I mean? They might not know it, but
I probably do. But, like, look, if you're making millions of dollars,
Yeah.
run the risk, man. Right? If you're gonna change your families forever, and you have to fight a couple more times, great, run the risk. I you know, but it's just when you're fighting for peanuts. Like,
Sure.
you know, you're fighting, but, you know, people go, peanuts, oh, you make $100 grand. Man, $100 grand's nothing, right? 100, because when you do that enough, you don't, there's not much left after, like, when you say $100 grand, at the end, after you pay everything, there's not much left, because you have to understand, you have to pay your coaches 15% of the $100 grand. So now you're down to 85, right? You have
Hold
to pay.
on, Mark, keep track of this for a second.
Yeah.
Come on.
don't let Mark hear any big
You
numbers.
have
He's not
to
allowed.
now pay your manager 15%. So another 15.
Wait, 15 off of the 15 or 15 off the
Everything's off the 100.
Okay.
Right? So you're looking at 30. So now you're down to 70 grand. Okay? You have to buy your coaches all their flights. You have to pay for the hotel room. So you're looking at camp expenses, another 10 grand, 60. Right? And now you got to pay taxes on the 60, 30%. You're looking at another, let's call it just 15. You made $45,000.
So at the end of
That's
that,
if you win.
Oh, God,
That's
yeah.
if you won. If you lose, it's half that. So So you're looking, you know, you lose your fight, you made 20 fucking grand.
Yeah, it's definitely not a way to, unless you just got the talent.
And look, it's the you know, it's like kids for me. It's the worst best thing you've ever done.
Mhm.
You know, like fighting in kids is the worst best thing I've ever done with my life.
Well, it's not proud, but I'm happy to know, having known you for so long, that you recognize that about yourself and your career at the time, and you chose the proper path to maximize everything that you were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched you on television.
Sure.
You know, I don't know what it was. It's kind of like if you're a fan of a basketball team, you always see the calls going against them, right? And I gotta say, that's the way watching you fight. It's like every time something would happen, it always went against you. It was enjoyable watching your career. I wish there were certain things that you would have had an opportunity to actually, you know,
Yeah.
fight at that, you know.
But then I don't know if I'd have the wife that I had. If
Yeah.
I don't have the wife that I have, I don't have the kids that I have.
You know,
And
change
like
anything.
you can always imagine having like a different wife and stuff, or a different this or that. But
Whoa, this is live. I don't know
okay,
if you
I've said this
okay.
right. She knows this. She could too, right? Like But what you can't imagine is having different kids,
Yeah.
right? So like when I back it all the way up to that, I like. You could be like, oh, you'd have other kids. I don't want other kids. I want the two that I have.
Did you ever say to them, how old are they?
15 and 12.
15-year-old would get the humor, and if you ever say you were the fastest sperm in my balls that day, No,
Mike
not
would
at
know
that
that.
I try
level.
to leave the sex with my wife.
What
you know?
sex? This is comedy.
Hey, we're just
I know.
we're talking tails.
I leave the sex with my wife out of conversation with my children.
I think they figured it out.
Yeah, they know, but they were home all the time during the plague.
My
so
my
There
son
you go.
is
You're getting it. You're getting it.
my son's very aware he was the fastest.
Yeah,
Sperm out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
well,
Oh, yeah.
everybody is.
Fastest
That's right.
sperm.
That's one thing.
Everybody
It's
is.
one thing we all won.
Well, that's why you could joke
It's
about
the
it.
one thing we all have in common.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. Well,
So-
maybe not Mark.
No.
I saw recently.
was a
I
slow
saw recently where they were creating like little helpers for the sperm, so they could go into your sperm and give it little extra action there, and had this little robots that would push the sperm towards the egg. I was like, how sad is that?
Why? For
Like,
what reason?
We're
Yeah,
gonna
what's the
we're
purpose
gonna
of this?
push some sad ass sperm
What's the
No,
purpose?
but what's a?
because the guy's sperm was so swag, and he just wanted. He's like,
Oh.
it's got to be my sperm, man. I don't care if you got to push it in there. Rich people, that's what they got. so rich that they've decided that they need to help
But
facilitate.
why? The sperm's going anyway.
No,
No, it
he's
was-
saying he doesn't have a low enough sperm count to
The
make a
sperm was-
baby.
Oh, got
if you looked at it
normal.
under microscope,
Oh.
the sperm was like hanging around, was
Got
barely
it,
and they were
okay.
like pushing it like with little robots. Like,
Well, then whatever. If you
If-
want to have a kid, have a kid.
If you looked
do
at
what you
his
gotta do.
sperm, it would,
If you're rich enough and you can pay for it and you want a kid, do however you got to do it.
his sperm
Some
were like
sad
hanging out
sperm.
in Lazy Boys,
Yeah.
watching TV, smoking,
Well, it's-
going, "What? Wait, what's the rush?"
it's like Wally, basically.
Yeah.
It's like the Wally of
the
sperms.
You asked me this question about cannabis. Like, do your thing, man. I don't care. You know, like, don't hurt me. It does not hurt anybody else. So, like, what if your sperm needs help? Go ahead and get some fucking help.
I think Elliot's setting up his political career. He might be announcing a run for governor on the show. I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, he might. Politics for you?
No.
Okay, good.
So after you quit fighting,
Yeah.
or were done with it, you didn't start a gym.
Right away.
You did.
Yeah. So look, that fight, whatever we were talking about, was on that Saturday night, the 29th, the 27th, whatever it was. That next Tuesday, like 3 days later, I looked at the building that my Denver school's in right now.
And what gym do you?
Easton.
You're the owner of Easton.
Well, with
Or
them all.
one of them.
Yeah, there's two majority owners, me and Amal, and then we have some small minority owners, but Amal and I probably own 90% of the, if you're going to call it equity, the revenue of the school.
Of,
If you
of
split
all
it
the
up-
Eastons.
Of all of them, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So they're all owner operated.
Balling, bro. Easton is killing it.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
try,
I know how good high altitude's doing.
Yeah, we do our best.
Like phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you look at the gym I'm going to right now, Compound.
Where's
Okay.
the fridge over there? Has a sticker on it. Had a sticker on it forever. That said Easton Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So,
but
yeah,
I'm
You're
training
big.
with-
You're
with-
big on our fridge.
You traded at Brad School.
Yeah. I've mainly been interacting with Josh
Josh.
Hubel,
Who? Yeah. Yep.
and he said that he had trained with you,
Yeah.
whatever.
How's
Like-
he doing?
He's doing good,
Yeah.
for the situation that what he's going through and
What's he
whatnot.
going? I don't know.
He actually had a tumor,
Oh no.
a giant tumor in his head,
Okay.
right before he took his last fight last year, and bare knuckle, and he got it removed. There was no problems with it whatsoever, no complications to
Right.
it. But now he just needs to smoke well.
All right.
I
Well,
don't know how he was smoking before, but I know now is like
Give him
to bring it back to the conversation a little
yeah,
bit.
give him my best. Tell him I said hello. Give him my best.
100%. Yeah, I'll be seeing him, on Monday for sure.
Nice. Yeah. So that was and then that was like I said, 3 days after I ended up buying that building, and
Cool.
the rest is
So it
history.
really was a moment where you're just like, that's it, and you knew it at that point. Or-
knew it. I knew I had to do something to make sure my kids ate. I knew I wasn't.
You're doing the math in your head.
Yeah,
You're like,
I knew I
this
had to-
ain't gonna make.
I knew I had to do something to, keep the patriarchy alive and be a man in the world.
For sure. Bro.
Like as a joke of the patriarchy, but I wasn't going to let my wife support me forever, while I, chased a pipe dream,
Yeah, but then Easton is doing like so well.
Now we do well.
I can
What, are
only
you working
assume.
for the tax accountant guys or something like
Well,
that? What's
like,
going on?
I
Easy
have-
does it, buddy.
I have 4 kids that I also
Okay.
they train, So I just had recently called up Easton and checked them prices. way
You called
over
about
my
your
head.
kids at Easton Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Look at that.
Instant.
But I mean, there's the
Me,
reputation's
me,
there.
me,
but
me.
Yeah, I would say we are the most successful and owner operated, not chain, like not I wouldn't say chain.
Well, three
not
or
like-
more is a chain.
What's that?
3 or more is a legal chain, right?
Yeah, but a chain is different owners. We're not franchise.
No
Okay,
no franchise.
Rad.
You know, so we're the most, I would say, probably in the whole country.
I would guess so too.
Yeah. You know, we have 250 employees.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we're at like 4,000 members
That's
between all
awesome.
the schools. Yeah, it's a project.
That's really cool.
250 employees.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
250 problems.
Exactly.
I love my employees. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not easy, but it's definitely
It's not
It's
easy.
good to know that you're taking care of those people.
Look,
and
it's
they're taking
really
care of you.
cool because we have about, I think we're one of the first schools that's been able to provide full-time real work, like where you can support your family, make a living, and we probably have 15 to 20 people that only work for us. They live a life, but they live a life doing something like
Do what you love, the
doing what
money
you
will
love. Like
follow.
when I was teaching for Amal, when I was teaching Jonah, I was getting paid $30 a class, $20 a class, let's say, right? And it's just one of those things where you can't live on $20 a class because there's only so many classes a day you can teach. So we've been able to move off of that and,
That's
really
so fantastic.
really support people, health insurance, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's
So we're breaking the fourth
Awesome.
wall, but this is one of our local supporters.
all right, awesome.
Yeah, he's a what are you, a 9th degree black belt in
Ready to prove it? Yes.
So he can't really talk about it. I can talk about it since he's not on camera, but he's retired black ops, like been, he's done psyops and
Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah. You just don't want to mess with him. It's just the fact that he fights dirty,
Yeah.
really dirty. Like yeah. Look at him. I mean, do you think somebody like that would fight any other way?
See if I can hear.
Yeah, pull your hair and oh, wait a minute. No, he won't do that. All right, so come on, tell another story about Elliot that none of us know about.
I don't know. I just did my minimal research, and I thought I seen the post, and I said, "Oh, cool, UFC fighter," not knowing who you were, and then I do a little research, and I'm like looking at your Wikipedia page, and I'm like, Easton.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, that's the school that I trained at a lot, high altitude, which I'm now at Compound.
Yeah.
But yeah, then it was just like this interesting connection because so many people, I assume, you are their
I was
professor.
their professor. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We've had the
Like so many of my teachers came before the split.
right.
You know,
Like people. It's been an interesting ride. Amal was the first one, the second one, first one or two here in Colorado, and we've been able to sustain. We've been able to move and shift with the times. We've been able to pay attention. COVID was a pain in the ass, but we made it through that. And yeah, we help other schools run their schools now. We have a consulting arm where, we have about 50 clients where we're helping them run their schools.
So well, that was like when you and Cody were in the UFC at the same time.
No, he got in the UFC. I was retired.
Okay, it was just after because
Yep.
you guys were the same weight class.
We
No,
were the same weight class, but he when he got in, I had retired. And then I was his only coach in his first fight. Like we flew to Australia. So his first fight was in Australia. We flew down there. He fucking whooped that dude's ass, and there we go.
So did you stay with coaching him for a while, or?
I coached him till he retired.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah. And then when he was done, then we coached
A lot of
together for a
retiring
while.
going on around here.
Come on, you're in the fight game. It's going to be part. Not every fight. I mean, if you can strictly fight just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it might be a little easier on the body. But if you're taking blows to the head in the UFC, I think it shortens your potential.
33 is the prime age. 33 is the prime age. That's where you're coming to your physical prime. You might be slightly past your physical prime, but they have these things called steroids now. And,
You may have noticed.
but you are very mentally forged in on how to go about combat. But if you really look at an athlete, if you look at the best athletes, 30 to 35 is their.
Well, let me ask you this question since steroids came up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something in the UFC community or in the whole mixed martial arts community that
It's massive.
you sort of, and is it pushed upon them or they just basically know that you don't use them, the other guy is?
Not now.
Okay.
So it's harder. It's much harder now because they had USADA for a while, right?
Explain, what is USADA?
USADA is the governing body that tests the Olympics.
Okay.
So we had USADA for a while, which was, a lot, we called it, there was pre-USADA fighters and then post-USADA fighters. Because you could just see the difference. Yeah, you could just see the difference.
They look
in
like
their
WWE
body.
wrestlers.
Yeah, and then they look like a little average.
Yeah.
And there's people that never fought well again.
So, like, I know a long time ago, the herb was really shunned in a UFC, right?
Yeah.
In your time, but now, I mean, I don't know. Do
you still can't. We talked about this earlier. You can't because it's not federally legal. And again, like the states are it's state boxing commissions that regulate and sanction the fights. So if you're smoking weed in Colorado and your fight's in Texas, you're going to have a problem.
So the interesting thing is with the THCA being hemp legal, right?
Doesn't matter.
So it's like strange. Like in Wisconsin right now, I have friends that are blowing it up with hemp dispensaries, but they're just growing every modern strain that you can get your fingers on.
Of course.
And then because they fought it in court, and I just was like, so no one in the UFC, because it's something that's like
not yet,
right?
I think.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think as when you're doing testing, it wouldn't be wouldn't be splitting between THCA and THC Delta 9 on those.
Even though
terms,
last
it's
week
already going to be converted.
Right.
I think that is something we will have to do on the show, where we 1 week ingest 50 or 100 milligrams of, Delta 9
Steroids,
grown from a dispensary, and then 50 or 100 milligrams the following week of hemp-derived THC. Because you said you could tell the difference. I don't think I don't think at that level you really can.
Right.
I really don't think so. I think we're talking about once you've extracted it like that, it's almost at a medicinal level, and it's equivalent. It's the same molecule, So it would be interesting. Now, I know. Oh shit! This won't fit a regular Yo-Tip. We have to. We need Yo-Tip XLs.
Yeah, I had no idea what your
Yeah, it's
system
okay.
was.
I know. Shit.
Big system.
I just need a filter. Like that's what.
Mike Denver, will you look around and see if you can find some Yo-Tip XLs around over in that thing for us, if you wouldn't mind?
So
Give it a minute.
So, Professor, you don't smoke herb.
I have nothing against it. I definitely have some edibles at my house where, like, at night when I come home, it helps me, especially when I have to teach late. But I'll do it. I won't do it. I have some. I don't do it with anybody.
Right.
Like, so if I'm gonna do it, I'm doing it pretty much alone or with people that are in my house. That it's just a different thing when you're in charge of 4,000 people, right? Like,
I can only imagine what that.
So
it's like your business might be doing well, and I've thought about this, but it's like the heavy is the head that wears the crown.
Yeah, I sit at home.
Right.
Don't worry about it, Mike.
I sit at home. I go to work, and I go home, and I try to keep it there, because if too many people see your life, you're gonna piss off somebody, and when you get into the public eye, I'm responsible for more than just my life. Like I said, we have a CEO and a COO.
Because you're taking care of other people.
Yeah, man. We have
right.
Our payroll is $300,000 every month, and if I blow that because of whatever I do, it's not just me.
Stay that extra day in Vegas.
Yeah.
Guess what, guys? Payroll's not happening this week. I fucked up.
I played roulette. One too many spins.
Or you just mean if your reputation can go a different way, and people would stop coming into the gym. Is this what you're
Or
referring to?
employees get upset, right? Like
Right.
You just don't know
Because of your political views
because
or something.
nobody knows where I stand on anything.
Right, right.
You know?
That's like a really hard thing to do, and I admire that.
Yeah, nobody really knows what I think about the Charlie Kirk situation.
Right.
Other than it's terrible, he's dead. Like super terrible. Like, and that's all I'll say publicly.
But what I would say, all I would say about it is the importance for his father turned him in, and we need more strong.
Oh, the shooter's father.
And we need more strong men who are like
I
good,
think part of
strong
the
fathers is what we need. Is what I mean.
I think part of the reason his dad turned him in was his dad didn't want him to die.
His dad was the sheriff.
His dad's his dad was the sheriff, but his dad's gonna he knows his kid's gonna go on the run, right? And if you know your kid's gonna go on the run, your kid's gonna have a gun. And then if your kid has a gun and you meet up with the cops and you killed somebody, such a public figure like Charlie Kirk, most likely that you're gonna get shot.
Oh, for sure. Right.
You know, so like,
yeah,
I would do. Like, man, the dad did the right thing. Obvious,
Well, I was gonna loop it back to martial arts.
Yeah,
because I think martial arts really. I mean,
martial arts has the possibility to do what you're about to say. It doesn't always.
What I was saying is, when I first got before you get into it, you don't see, and then you got to go to several gyms and interact with lots of people to realize this is just like any business or any sect of people. But some people, it helps them work on themselves and be a better.
It has the possibility.
A good possibility.
I think it's the number one vehicle for a possibility to really live a great life.
And just be like a good human being.
Yes. Well, because you get your ass kicked.
Right.
And there ain't nothing better for you.
You're getting humbled.
There's nothing better for you.
Well,
Nobody comes in good.
You ready for this? I had this hot take. I was just thinking about it last night, and every man should be punched in the face. It's like a thing that you like, oh, that's what that's like.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
And like every jiu-jitsu guy should get punched in the face like when they get their blue belt or something. So it's just like, this is not like the thing you think it is. Like, you got to have some striking mixed along with it.
I disagree with you, but not for real self-defense.
Well, there's if you're multiple attacker situation.
Here we go.
That's like that's the issue. Is like, okay,
now the demo.
One-on-one, you could totally.
All right, so hold on. So hold on. So hold on. Fight. So your argument for multiple attacker is to no striking?
No. It's that you should have some striking.
You think so? You think it's you think the odds you're better off in the odds of striking with multiple attackers?
No, I like grappling. I really do like grappling.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm saying if you only know jiu-jitsu, a lot of jiu-jitsu schools don't teach stand-up. Right? So if you're not learning to stand up and you also don't know how to protect your face because the average person is going to be swinging at you, you can get clipped one time by someone you're having a problem with someone in front of you. Well, his buddy's back over here. But
okay, so this just becomes an awareness thing, though.
It's an awareness?
It's an awareness thing. It's got nothing to do with the actual martial art.
Well, I also think you need some striking.
Personally. Oh, I agree. I love it. I love striking. But if you're going to ask me, but hold on, if you're going to ask me, but if there's one thing you're going to do for self-defense, it's by far jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, Sambo, obviously, but like for ones that are easily accessible to the average person, yeah, I would say if you know how to grab somebody.
You have to know how to grab. You have to know how to grab, control, and submit.
Right.
And if you can do those
things. For you, there are how many Easton?
They're pretty accessible.
Or just control. If you're a good wrestler,
wrestlers
can just hold you down.
Yeah, of course. Wrestlers are going to get it done.
Judo, etc.
Judo's a little rougher.
Well, it depends what school you go to, I would speculate.
Oh. Like
because it's just different teachers, you know what I mean?
Before you came in, we were talking about these guys with mouths that used to walk into the school and try to say that their karate was better than your karate.
I'm just very heavy jiu-jitsu, and with the sport of MMA, like it's hard. Like it is obviously one of the least effective arts now, is jiu-jitsu, where the striking and the wrestling are way more important, because of the rules that have been set up. And Dana White, right? Like Dana has pushed, and I'm not saying he's wrong at all here. So like I'm not crucifying Dana on this. Like he has pushed.
He watches the show, just so you know.
Yeah,
hi, Dana.
Yeah,
good to see you, buddy.
Thanks, Dana. He's pushed blood. They've pushed blood, right? And jiu-jitsu does not provide blood, and striking does.
That's
So,
why you got robbed.
Yeah.
If his arm would have came through his skin, his bone,
You would have won. All right, give him. He got blood. We got the blood.
you know what I mean? It's like, it's
I won't
not,
even say I got robbed. I think I won that fight, but I don't like. Nothing was intentional. Like, it wasn't an intentional thing. It just is what it is. I was really upset about it for a good portion of my life.
Way to bring it up again,
No,
man.
it's
I don't mean to, you know.
No, it's fine. But I'm so okay with it now. I'm so okay with almost my whole life because of my kid. So I'm also someone who can suffer from anxiety. I can have really, really bad anxiety bouts. And at a young age, I saw that my son was like, he is my mini. Like, he is my exact mini. Like, so his anxiety presents like my anxiety, and I was able to get ahead of it with him, you know, and really help him build a mind and a work ethic where, like, you know, he's probably going to be the #1 freshman for basketball in the state, you know, knock on wood. And he's not athletic. He's not like tween cross behind, booming on somebody. He doesn't have that, but he's got work ethic, and he's got an indomitable mind. And that was a lot me and him. And he said the nicest thing to me a year ago. We were coming home from a basketball tournament. He just played really well. And he just looks at me and he goes, "Dad, I don't know how anybody could do this like I'm trying to do it without someone like you in their life."
It's not possible.
It's, you know,
it's difficult.
And like, what do you want me to say to that? So like, all of my suffering is now automatically just becomes worth it.
Right.
You know, and if I have to suffer more so that my 2 kids can, then okay. You know, okay. But like, he realized it 14. So to realize that, 1, touched me, and 2, like, all right, so okay, I had to go get my ass kicked and lose that fight and lose other fights and win some other fights and have all these sad moments and do all this. But now here I am with my kid, and he's able to, all right, word, sign me up again. Yeah. You know, sign me up again.
No, that's why I said earlier, you took the opportunity to make the right decisions at the right time as those questions were presented to you. And you didn't chase something that was probably well out of reach. You were quite realistic in the goals you set up, and you achieved them.
And yeah,
It's
and then
fantastic.
you gotta have a little dreamer in you. You gotta have a little, like, I can do this craziness to it.
So have you shown the movie Rudy to your son?
I think he's watched it.
You know, that's what I like tell my kids all the time. I'm like, that's my theory on life is, if you will it, like, if you really will it, put the work in.
Oh, I'm a big believer in manifesting.
Right.
You know, I didn't realize it until this moment, but it was always Sean Astin that our buddy Denver Mike reminded me of.
Oh, you
know,
finally
look at him.
figured it out?
You know, think about it for a second, right? You seeing it?
Yeah.
You know? He's got the little
Little
Rudy
bit.
in him.
The hair, though. The hair's
Yeah.
way too long.
Oh, ignore the hair.
Okay.
Ignore the hair for a second.
So,
The flowing locks.
guys, I do have to
Ignore
roll
those.
now.
All right, brother.
So,
All right, we kept
Thank
that
you
long.
so
appreciate
much,
you. Nice to
Elliot.
meet you guys.
For sure.
know?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, wait. And make sure you go next door and check out the barbecue.
Yeah, get some barbecue
will.
to bring
Yeah.
home.
But before you go,
Yeah.
any done deals for the for Easton training?
What do you mean, done deals?
All right,
This
so
is Adam Dunn.
we have advertisers and sponsors on the show. Terp wipes, clean your area.
Okay.
Yo tips, Dabex, 14er, and we have it started out as just what you were doing here, but we made it kind of humorful, that you should ask for the Dunn deal anywhere you go, just to see if we have a discount with them.
Okay.
So if anyone's watching right now, if you have the ability within your system,
I have to run that by HR.
yeah, see, you know,
Thousands of people probably, but
if
it might only be
somebody-
one or two.
That's see, like, I can be political. Let me run that by HR and see what they say.
what we would do is, if somebody's watching right now and goes, "Oh, that's the guy I saw on television. He's really he doesn't have his name on Easton Jiu-Jitsu, so
Right,
we
right.
didn't know that. We should go take some classes right now because we saw him on the Adam Dunn show.
Okay.
Maybe they get 10% off their first few lessons. That's what we look for. Some incentive, a force majeure, if you will.
We'll
to
give
send
you
them
50% off your first month.
Bing! Look at that.
There you go.
So all you have to do is go down and say, and actually, this is what I want you to do. When you get there, demand to speak with Eliot Marshall.
I probably won't be there, dog.
100% won't be there, but
No, and say
I probably won't be there.
If he doesn't come down right now, you want 30%. Okay,
Yeah.
so 15% off your first month.
No, 50.
50.
50.
Holy shit, half price.
Yeah, half price for your
Look at
first
that.
month. Let's go.
All right, thank you, Elliot,
Guys,
for coming down.
appreciate you.
Great seeing you
Nice
again,
to
brother.
meet you.
for sure.
And if Mark were here, he'd be
Good stuff,
playing
brother.
the exit
Thanks.
music we
Oh, yeah,
have.
we'd be doing
We have like da, da, the reverse of that when you leave. But so you're going to be going over right now to Sohai Cafe and Viper Pit Barbecue, 4300 West Alameda. That's where you want to go for your barbecue, your tacos, your burritos, your hamburguesa. It is quite good.
Oh, it's very good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't like I
fire.
know, but
Yeah,
So,
we don't
no-
have the right size yo tips for those.
I've had
Yeah.
that problem before.
it's okay. We can go old school.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Wow.
Oh, da-da-da-da-da,
Good to see you,
da-da-da-da.
buddy.
Here's the theme. Yep, we're gonna do a theme song on the
Yeah.
way out. The Rocky,
Elliot left.
Rocky up the stairs.
Da-da-da-da.
No,
Da-da-da-da-da.
I think that's
Dun,
not
dun,
it.
dun, dun, dun,
So that was
dun,
cool.
dun, dun, dun.
You guys
Whatever,
know
dude.
Elliot for a long time, or?
He has.
Since he's 19 years old.
Oh, cool.
He looks familiar to me too. Like I know him from somewhere
He
too.
was on television.
All the time, every day.
What do you mean on television? How do I know him
The
from?
Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, I never watched that.
Yeah, you did. You admit it. You like watching men.
Was that like a
in-
reality show?
It was like a reality show. Yeah. Each week they would have a bout and they would watch you through your training.
Maybe I did watch that. I don't know.
Look at that. Tightened it all up. Good job. Good job there, Mark.
Dude, I know
You're
that's
like
what
such
I
a-
do.
You're such a producer.
Oh, I
Well,
know.
see that? We magically pulled the wizard back out from his lair. The wizard lair. I saw your backyard looking good.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
It's looking very healthy.
I'm pretty.
I mean, it's always sucky because you know it's hard to really get full potential in those situations just because you're not like, it's not like on a hill on the fucking side of a mountain and you're like, "Whoa." So I know you'll get prime, maybe one or two prime spots and then a
Right.
few spots that probably
right. Not
turn that
so
into
well.
fucking extract or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see how things come up. I'm doing.
Kind of died these last couple of weeks though, right? It's been shitty weather. I think.
Yeah, but
Not a lot of sun.
so. But at the same time, it's just kind of starting to flower. Most of them. I got some of them were just finishing. Whatever. It's all over the place, but. Yeah, it's disappointing the angle of the sun that at this time of year and it's certain and half the garden.
Colorado blues. I got the Colorado blues.
But-
yeah, it's
But
like
it's beautiful when it finally gets gray out though, like just for us citizens.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? You're like, oh,
Citizens. Citizens, pay attention.
citizens of the earth.
I have to tell you, I just got a text from Elliot. He says he was this close to getting up and punching you in the face. No, he did not.
Oh, he seemed cool.
He is such a
What's
fantastic
really funny though
guy.
is I love to put him and Mitch next to each other because they look like some sort of cousins or something. They're both from New Jersey. They looked very similar. I bet they're related. I got some.
maybe.
You can see it. Got some Mitch.
Yeah, I don't think Mitch would be able to handle it. He'd be in awe. It was really enjoyable being able to watch him on television over the years and see what he did. And when we bumped into each other several years ago, and he told me that he had bought into the schools, that made me feel really good because he was really what made it special for Jonah.
Right. Yeah, it's always having a good teacher, professor.
Yeah. Professor.
Professor.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, well, it's a controversy.
If it's in a class situation, they call him professor or something,
Well,
or if it's
it's like gym to gym, but some gyms say if you're black belt you're a professor, and some gyms you have to have 3 stripes, third degree for if anybody's watched a kung fu movie, you know what I mean?
how many people claim that? How many times have you heard that claim? 3rd degree black belt.
Oh yeah.
Just thrown around willy-nilly like it's like nothing.
Mike Denver's
Oh,
a
dude, 3rd degree
black
black
belt.
belt.
Yeah,
You're like,
it
get
is.
the fuck out of here with that.
Tell the truth, Mike. What is it? 3rd or 4th degree? Right. Okay. 5th.
But it's
Holy shit.
cool in jiu-jitsu where like the first on a black belt, your first stripe, right, which on your belt there's a little stripe you put on it, so you could call it a degree, I guess. You get after 3 years after you've had your black belt, and then your second stripe you have to have 5 more years after that, and then the next stripe 5 more years after that. and the black belt itself takes.
So you know someone's lying when they're like 22 years old, like I'm a third-degree black belt.
Yeah.
Like it's not even physically possible.
Right.
not in jiu-jitsu, in other martial arts, they can hand them to you because you keep
Oh.
handing the paycheck.
Oh, there you
The
go.
monthly.
That's the willy-nilly part that I like. Yeah, the old willy-nilly. Give me some money, Willie.
So he's just your buddy, but he didn't have anything to do specifically with herb.
He was my son's teacher,
Okay, that's why.
and
he's hanging
when
out.
I had bumped into him years ago when I was in the cannabis industry, and I kind of had no. I guess I want to
This
say
is back
it
when
was,
you were a big-time real estate guy?
no, yeah, I was with Calix, but I want to say in about 2012 or 2011, I kind of said fuck it, and I wasn't so concerned. I was more concerned with having sort of gaps in my LinkedIn profile when I wanted to apply
Don't
for
ever
work.
have a gap in your LinkedIn.
No,
profile.
so I didn't. So I put in the cannabis companies I was working for. And I was one of the first people on LinkedIn to put that down, and they didn't pull my profile.
Oh, cool.
And
Look at you, big
Fucking
bad.
I didn't give a
pioneer.
fuck anymore.
Dave,
So
don't give
when
a
that-
fuck.
When that happened, I bumped into Elliot. So this is probably 15 years ago or so. And he, we had a conversation about cannabis at the time. And maybe it was a little longer than I remember. But,
You're like, yeah, he loves weed. And then you're like,
yeah,
I've smoked weed in 15 years. You're like, well, that's the last time I talked to you.
right. So that's my brain. Okay. So when I bumped into him driving, it was kind of funny.
Another dead lighter.
Yeah.
Adam
Mark.
Dunn show can kill a lighter in
2 shows.
so fast.
I don't know if that one
I
was.
see Mike
That does
Denver reaching
work.
into
This-
his pocket.
No, this works. This will work.
Oh, what's he coming with?
If you
Is
need
is it
it.
a Bic? Wait, hold on. A lighter approaching. Oh,
it's
it's
my
a blue
last
Bic.
Toker Poker lighter, and it'll be gone. So, if you guys want it,
You were that guy on Instagram that who used to make those
Like
videos,
gaps
right?
in your Instagram? Oh, no, that was LinkedIn. Sorry.
yeah,
Never mind.
LinkedIn. I don't have no LinkedIn.
Never have a
That's
gap.
for nerds.
Yeah, it's so bad. I have one, but I don't even.
I don't have.
I don't ever go to it.
I don't
And
think
I
I
always
have
get
one.
people like, "Hey,
I used to work in fucking corporate shit, for real companies, and
Bah,
unfortunately, that's what they fucking cared about.
real shitty company."
I work for Financial Times.
Check out the Adam Dunn Show LinkedIn. It doesn't exist, does it? We don't have one.
Be like, look at my Facebook, bro. I'm just kidding. That's
Ow, that's so painful.
Yeah, that's such a trip. When I realized dude was from Easton, because both of the gyms that I've been to in Denver, they're people who ranked up through Easton and then started their own gym somewhere else. So they figured out the recipe,
So that's kind of what Mike Denver did. He learned everything from Adam, and then he went off on his own and started his own companies. And
Dad, come on, his
You
dad
know.
taught him everything.
I don't know about that.
Papa,
Didn't you teach
Papa
Dad?
taught him everything, and now he's teaching Papa. That's how it goes. It goes around, comes around, goes.
I don't know. Papa grew some great Lambo. Just saying.
Oh, cool.
That was quite
Yeah.
nice. You can bring
Papa
some of that
grew
by
some
anytime you
grapes
want.
in Lambo.
Yeah.
So Adam, do you
very
have any
funky.
outdoor?
No,
No,
I didn't do it.
nothing?
No, it's like as much as I'd want to, it's just because of the.
Not even one or two.
No, not even.
Yeah.
Not even because it's just like it's either all in or not. That's how I gotta feel about it. Actually, I have one. I took a freak show outside next to the hot tub, just because it looks
Oh,
like
cool,
because
yeah.
it looks like a palm tree, so it's kind of has the vibe. It's all hanging.
Oh,
The
plants
one we
by the
brought-
pool.
The one plants by the pool. Exactly. I'll take a
Yeah.
photo for next week.
Yeah, do
Is,
it.
is
It's,
it getting big and hanging over the? 'Cause-
It was in a. It's not in a prime spot either because it's, of course, it's a nice private little area, so
Right.
it's not like, hello. But it fits perfect because it kind of wraps over the top, so
That's beautiful.
it's more for decoration than anything at this point in time.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, what do you think about the outdoor versus indoor versus greenhouse? What is your?
I feel like everybody's really gotten like super jaded on their whole like thinking like there's no good outdoor weed, which is ridiculous because obviously it's very much depending on your terroir, right? If you live in a great spot and you can grow great weed, then you should be there growing great weed. If you have a spot that's got 3 hours of sun, don't even waste your time because it's not worth it. And that's the
I
problem.
think-
is it's all about the being aware of where you're at and if you have the right situation. Problem is too, Colorado's so anal with their visuals, right? So if you live in the city, you're fucked. You can't grow anything technically. I mean, you could,
It's difficult.
but you have to know your neighbors really well, and they have to know you, and just takes one person calling it in, and you're fucked. You know.
I think you need to qualify when you said, greenhouse, indoor, outdoor. You can't just say outdoor anymore, because I guarantee you, if he grew some outdoor, if Mike Denver grew some outdoor, couple of, good-sized pots outside that they could manipulate, make sure it was in the sun. I'm not talking about a patch of 50 plants. I'm talking a small amount. You'd grow it fire. We're talking about use of the sun, the best way. But I think what outdoor that you're describing is outdoor of like Los Sueños.
No, I'm saying just period list. Even if it's you yourself, you have a greenhouse,
get up
you
on the
have
mic.
some outdoor,
this is
you
that
have
time.
some indoor, same strain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just everything's the same, and then
It's very much depending on the person who's smoking it or eating it or whatever they're doing with it, because it's sometimes like you'll have people who think something is stronger, right? Like let's say stronger, but it's mostly because maybe it has a higher terp content, so it blasts you in the face more, where you're just like, whoa, what's that? You know what I mean? Because whereas if it's grown outdoors and it got rained on a lot and it wasn't in the best conditions, and then that terp didn't pop as hard as it would when it was grown in the indoor situation and the guy had like more control. But you can also have complete opposite situations where people grow indoors. It's artificial light with soil that is based on or not, maybe it's just cocoa, right? If it's just cocoa and some coke and some standard, house and garden.
Rock wool, even worse. Just the most sterile, synthetic environment.
You're not enhancing anything at that point, right? So at the end of that, you might have some real crystally, chunky looking buds that look great, but then you go to smoke it and it's like, where's all the flavor, right? So it kind of, and you might not feel like it's got anything. It might just feel like nothing,
right?
Which is a lot of times
Oreos.
Exactly, like Oreos, good example. That strain was like beautiful to grow. It grew these awesome buds. Everything looked great the whole time. Now I can look at it growing and know that there's nothing there. It doesn't even excite me, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, forget about that. Even though I tried a couple rounds and it was like, I'll cross it with this, I'll cross it with that, and everything crossed it with it's like it didn't, like it sucked all the flavor out of the thing and created beautiful.
Was it just something about the beauty of the plant that you wanted to?
Yeah, well, the structure. It was like it's like Jodrey, Kevin Jodrey, like loves Oreos. Like he talks about it like it's the fucking top. He's like, it's got the greatest undercarriage, right? That's his whole philosophy, which I get it. It has a great structure. It is, but it's so hard to make it like taste like anything. You know what I mean? It can make hash out of it. The hash that I made from it was not too bad, right? Remember? That was all right. The Oreo hash was okay. Acceptable.
Oh yeah, the hash was good.
It was good, but it wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
It was good, acceptable. Still waxy though, kind of waxier too. Like when you're making it, you're like you can see, it creates a waxy trike, so it's not flavor. It's more glistening, looking great. Whereas if it's oily, it doesn't make good. Doesn't make like it's kind of like it's more of a like those kind of plants tend to be, more terp heavy. So if you do them in BHO, you end up with a huge terp layer and a small wax layer compared to all wax with no terps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why BHO is fun. It's a good way to indicate quality of product because it's like nothing is left, behind. Whereas with rosin, it's very dependent on it tastes great and everything, but it's also there's a lot left behind because you never get it all out. Whereas with BHO, you get everything out. Like you really you can do a really good job of cleaning the whole thing out, separating all of your different, your terp layer and your wax layer, and it doesn't get any chlorophyll coming. It's perfect. It's kind of the perfect thing for what we like as stoners, right? But it has a bad rep just because of all the people who go back to the original. Well, also the fact that it's very, like, remember when it was the master case days, right? And you had to either you had different kinds of different companies producing different butane, which weren't really butane because there was some had a little propane, some had this amount, some had that amount. It was like, and so you could really see it when you started to process because one would come out more yellow. Oh, that's with Newport. That's got this color. You know what I mean? And it was literally, and then everybody got into the tanks, and then everybody got into the.
See, but when I first started, it was just go to the gas station.
That's what I mean, yeah. Like
you know what I mean?
Get what they got.
Get whatever.
Not even like a choice, like Calibre. Today it's Calibre.
Yeah, and it was like you want to buy a box, but they don't want to sell you the whole box because they think you're doing something something with it, right?
Like exactly what you were doing. They think you're doing exactly what you are doing, actually. But, yeah.
And they're like, you're the third guy that looks just like you come in this week.
Well, I used to use dry ice back in the 90s.
That multi-line used to be crazy back in the day because people just go in there all day and buy master cases, and these guys would just be pumping them out the doors. I'd be like, oh my God, dude, this is crazy. Yep. Those were the days, the old master case days.
How things switch so fast.
Exactly,
Looking
but
back on
it's back to the indoor, outdoor, and greenhouse and light depth. This is the season, right? This is like the time when people start like flipping this for that and that for the. Oh, this is because the light depths are already down, right? So they're already being flipped around. People are calling them ins, but they're not. But it depends on the quality of the grower. There can be guys who can finesse it enough to the point where it's actually still worth it because it's actually harder than growing indoors because you're still dealing with Mother Nature. You're still dealing with pulling tarps, and that guy actually worked harder for his buck than the indoor guy who's charging more. But that indoor guy's got more investment, because he's paying more rent probably and he's probably got
it's that
electricity bills that are added on top, and there's a lot of other
Right.
stuff compared. So there's
asking more, but he might not be getting more. It's it's all what type of year.
But the prices have gotten so stupid now that it doesn't
depth.
even matter really, because it's like you can get you can get $300 pounds all the time. There's 180 pounds. There's
You've heard 180.
yeah.
We're coming out of where?
I'm still out of West Coast. I mean,
Yeah.
in Oregon, mostly, Oregon and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, 180s and 300s, and then you say 480. They're like, whoa, that's a lot. You know what I mean? And you're just thinking to yourself, wow, this is like such a different world.
So you weren't in America when the Mexican brick was.
Oh, I was still. I mean, when I left, I left in '89, so there was like, there was, because I was in East Coast, so we had mostly Jamaican and Thai and a lot of imported stuff. Not a Mexican too, but it was usually good Mexican because it wasn't like by the time if it went all the way to there,
They were bringing the good.
they had to bring something decent. You know what I mean? But of course, and I remember back in the day going like, "You mean these are only like $300?" And it was like, "This is crazy." But it was like, yeah, when you're buying fucking truckloads, it was. But
How much was one of those bricks going for solo?
I believe they were close to $1,000 back in the day. I mean, this is up in Rhode Island.
So it's super.
$850,
everything's
$1,000, something like that. But yeah, it was. And then people were selling $100 ounces. You know what I mean? If you think about it too, you're like, there was so much money being made off of Mexican weed back in the day that
insane.
it was astronomical. Nobody made money off of kind weed back in the day. It was just more like you sold a bunch of Mexi, took that profit, and bought some good weed.
I used to buy ounces. You know what I mean?
For $500.
Well, no, where I'm from, it was. People didn't know.
They
It
could
was
sell
it was a different culture. So like the first ounce I ever got was like $150.
That's what I charged my friends when I was in
Right, and it was like
high school.
something I look back like, and this is not Mexi brick, but like some good indoor was.
But that's exactly what it's at
150.
pretty much now.
Right.
If you
So
start
like, that's why I'm like trying to relate it back to in my mind back to the prices. Like the cheapest prices in the 90s in the state line of Illinois and Wisconsin would have been like extreme 450 low, and maybe you would have. Some people have been paying upwards of 900, depending who you know and the stock. Maybe if you went up to like northern Wisconsin, you might have had to pay 1,200. But being so close to Chicago, where I'm at, it's like state line towns are crazy. If you've spent time in Tijuana, you know what I mean. Any border towns.
That's where Mark's from.
You can tell. But no, it was always the biggest money makers are those those low end sort of products. And the thing is that Mexi got such a bad name, but the reality is there's tons of good genetics coming out of there. Like it's just had it you know how like when you're treating cannabis the way you treat cannabis is like it's because you love it, and they're treating cannabis because they like money. And they don't give a fuck about the weed so much. Maybe one or two guys might care about weed, but for the most part, it's just like, it's just another thing. So they're stuffing it into
it's the middleman who's crushing it, and same as now.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you get all those packs out? Get them into the smallest,
oh yeah,
tightest thing,
and-
and then they start selling other drugs because Got what's smaller and tighter. Okay, let's go to wax and rosin. We don't even move packs no more.
Well, now
Same type of thing. It's the middleman who's dictating so much.
yeah, and when you were on the receiving end of all those packs back in the day, all those bricks and stuff, there'd be like, if you had to go through enough of them, you'd run across these super swag ones that were like the bottom of the barrel because they were like finishing up, and they're like, fuck it, just scrape everything up off the floor, dump it in the squisher, squish it, and it's like you open it up and it just seeds pour out like oh, we got a super bunk. And then, the other ones in the beginning, primo, the guys were actually getting all the fluffy stuff off the top.
Well,
sticking
also
it into
like a dirty thing that I heard these guys would do, because in Mexico,
put metal in there and shit.
is like, it's like really the dirty thing to smoke weed, but to do the other hard drugs, right? That's like, to do yayo, that's like, it means you got money. It means you're like affluent. So like, it's even now you can still see it in like Latin culture in this neighborhood. I'm sure if you ask some of these people, what their old views are.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd get these 55-gallon drums, and they know when they're on the Mexican side, and they drink Coronas and piss into the barrel all night long, and then sell it because then they get an extra 20 pounds or whatever.
Nice, of piss.
Yeah, piss weed. So the bottom of the barrel.
That's
is really
literal bottom of the barrel weed. Like, this tastes funny. This has a funny taste.
Hands to you, open it up this way.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a bunch of scandalous shit going on within that side of it all too. So I don't miss it at all. But I used to have a guy. It was funny. I had my little local dealer dude in Jamestown, and his name was Chris Moorhead. And it was like, we always joke like, yeah, he's keeping more weed. That's why he called Moorhead every time. He's got his head stashed. It's like, but he literally drove a brown van with round windows in the back, and he would, like, when it was really bad, we'd have to call him up. We'd be like, fuck, we got to call Chris. And we'd call Chris, be like, okay, we need a couple ounces. And he'd be like, we could get it for like $80 or something like that. It was like super cheap, but it was always just painful. It was like literally like, nah, I can't believe we're here right now. Like, be peeling these things up, like they'd be like squished, like kind of packed. Now I know from experience, they were packing it wet because it was coming out in these layers. You know what I mean? It wasn't like dried and then squished. It was like, oh, just throw it in there. And,
Well, where'd you say this is coming from?
I mean, this is Mexican weed back in the day, but I was like, who knows? It was from just like my local dealer, but he was just like, the funny part was he was quintessential. Like, he looked like the part. He was like, he drove the van. He
had a beeper.
No, this is
before
pre-beeper.
that.
Pre-beeper Dave.
What? No, he was totally Cheech and Chong in it.
Still skate boy.
This is 84, 83. This is not, there's no beepers. We didn't have no beepers back then.
So, but if you were to say that it was cheap, $80 for some brick.
Yeah, it was
for some vacuum packed. If it was modern times,
because
modern. That's what or just if you machine trim it, you might as well have just.
I mean, it's pretty much the same prices as it is now. It's like $80 now. It's like
right, but in '84 money, that's like
right. Yeah, it was. It was something. It wasn't like, but it was the time too where I wasn't gonna just buy an ounce of weed. I was gonna roll up a bunch of joints, take them to school, sell them at school, get my money back. I had the whole business. My entrepreneurial mind was open at that point where it was like, there's no you can't buy this weed. You have to support your habit, slang to your friend. It was even funny because I used to when I would go to New York, I'd go to the head shop and buy club papers. And then when I'd sell ounces to people, I'd give them clubs. And then I'd teach them about tearing the one edge on the, so I was like, oh, I'm educating these guys. They were like, I never seen that before. And it's like, no, dude, I try to roll those things. They don't work. It's like, no. You got to tear the one little edge off so that they cling on. And it's like perfect. And I do the little trick, you light it and let it drop. And look at it disappeared before it hit the ground. They'd be sold. I'd be like, so I'd give them a free pack when they buy an ounce. And then I'd be selling I just sold packs of papers to kids. I didn't even have to sell weed. I was I was just slanging papers in 7th grade or something like that. 7th, 8th grade.
But what you said about how you sold brick so that you could smoke kind bud.
Later, no, I didn't. That was pre. Yeah, I just did it to sell. I just did it to smoke for free. Then I went to Cali. So the thing is, I would go to Cali to see Mo, and then we'd go up and they'd have all this killer weed. and I'd be like, I took like a pickle jar and I put it all in this fucking pickle jar, and I was an idiot because I didn't wash it properly, so my weed smelled like pickles. But didn't matter. It still got
There's
you
your new
so
strain
high.
name.
It got you so
Pickle.
fucking. It got you so high because it was a beautiful buds. I brought them back from Cali, and then I was the one educating, like showing everybody real weed because they were just like, "What the fuck is like?"
This is Cali weed that you brought back to the East Coast.
Yeah, when I would go like out with my parents, or my mom actually. But then it was even funnier because I've told this on the show before, but I was at my friend's house. His dad's a biker, and they got like weed, fucking trash bags full of weed at the house, right? And it's like we're smoking a joint in his room, and the dad kicks the door open and he's all fucking pissed off. What the fuck are you guys smoking in here? Rah, rah, rah. And we're like, the fuck? We're smoking a joint. Like, we're like, come on, Dad. And he's like, where'd you get that? And he's like, Adam, it's Adam's. And he goes, where'd you get this? And I'm like, oh, it's from Cali. And he's like, fucking, you guys have better weed than we do? Like, he was so mad because he smelled this really good weed in his house that he had all shitty weed.
See, I was totally broken because my first experience with cannabis was going to Northern California. My aunt and uncle were just...
I know, Petrolia.
But I didn't understand that people, not everybody smoked that. You know, because years went by, and then all of a sudden when I have to finally beep somebody in the summer...
It's so depressing when you buy... Like, my whole experience in life has been never was satisfied. I don't think I almost ever was happy buying weed because I'd never really... So I was just either getting it from friends or like the right people. But when you actually had to like break down and buy it, it was always so depressing. Like I'd be like, "Are you this is crazy." And then went up to Australia, and I was kind of like, now I have to really go into the trenches and go to like King's Cross and buy little literally like tiny little foils where they would sprinkle some weed, like this much weed, that much weed in a foil wrapped like
Let
10
the record show that there is less than a penny's diameter
like
of
wrapped
weed
5
right
times so that when you
Like a
got
quarter
it, they
gram.
hand it to you, you think it was something, you get back and you unwrap it and be like, are you kidding me right now? This is it was like so expensive. And just like, yeah, you know, so that's and it's like when you're selling weed to somebody and you're pulling it on the scale, and no matter how much buds you put on the scale, it hardly moves the scale. And then when you're buying weed from somebody, they put the smallest bud on the scale and it goes ding up, and we're there, and you're like, how the fuck is that? I swear to God, when I'm doing it, I just keep giving buds. I'm like, this weed doesn't weigh anything. It's crazy, you know. It's so Murphy's Law,
Like
right?
looking back at it, put it back down. Look, I was like, what is this?
That's impossible. That's impossible.
It's possible when they also put a penny on the scale at the same time.
Well, I mean, later, not so much there, but later when it's all like, it's usually because it was like compressed weed, so you could, you know what I mean? And I'm giving people beautiful, nice, fluffy buds, so it's just like, oh my God. But yeah, hardly ever in your favor for some reason.
But
Something
really,
like counting money, same as counting money, right? When you're counting, you're like, God, I swear there's more money here than it doesn't look like 1,000, and then you're like, 980,
$850,
and it's 1,000. Yeah, it's never more.
That's what Mark does that all the time when we pay him.
He's like, well, I thought that was only 50, but it looks like 500.
Looks like none.
Shh, don't say numbers. Don't ever say numbers around Mark. He doesn't need to know about them. They exist.
So if we come back to numbers,
Don't pay attention like normal.
Yeah.
you said you've heard prices right now currently be 180 and 300 for lows.
Oh yeah, for
A pound?
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what you've heard, right?
Oh, yeah.
We would love to. I
Well,
would love to see the quality of that.
4 years
Oh, yeah,
ago,
well-
4 years ago, there was $20 pounds in Oklahoma,
Right.
Like-
I remember you saying that
and
actually.
you had to, and they were fronting them to you, giving you 60 days to pay on them. You had to take 2,000 of them, but still, it's $20 a pound. I mean, come
sell
on,
a 10-pack.
and that's what they were doing. They're delivering them to people who made concentrates, and they could come on, there's no way you can't fuck that up unless it's. But they were doing them in super sacks, so there was like hemp style almost. You know what I mean? So who knows what's happening?
The bottom of the barrel, my friend.
Well, they were back to that story, and if it's seeds, then it's all seeded, and your bottom.
So if you've heard 180 and up, let's say Chicago, between 450 and 800 at this in the 90s, and then at that same time, I remember friends on the Mexican-Texas border saying it was 150 in South Texas and 300 in North Texas. as a pretty standardized, because you got the roadblocks through Texas to get north. So like I'm
Exactly.
just trying to relate it to like our
yeah.
modern labor and quality, and people just like these mafioso people who have just no care about quality at all and just racing towards the bottom.
Oh, it's already there. I mean,
And then maybe it'll pop back up.
well, the
because
problem
of
is we
cyclical.
have Chinese nationals on, like, all over the place, growing on scale with PGRs, stealing power, doing everything wrong that we don't want to do to the industry.
Where does that cannabis wind up?
I'm sure it feeds all sorts of levels of backdooring and both ways on dispensaries and all over the place, I'm sure. But at the same time, they probably export some of it too.
That's what I was going to say,
yeah,
export.
It's
And I'm
mostly go to Asia and stuff too, because
like,
right now
they
like,
can't grow it there. It's so illegal to grow it there.
well, it's also like Thailand, for instance, was taking a lot of the weed. So like there was tons of weed coming in from Cali and stuff to
And they're
to Thailand.
yeah, that's completely export. Because personally, when I go back to Wisconsin, and Illinois has dispensaries, but Illinois is such a crooked state that there's very few dispensaries, so the prices don't like really help the clientele. And then
But these are like legit places,
like
or?
legit, like on the Wisconsin-Illinois border.
Okay.
There's like 2 dispensaries, but they're serving the entire state of Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
Right.
Of course, because that's enough.
Right. For not for everybody, because a lot of people, let's say the people who, people who don't have a hookup, right? That's where they're going. But then
Well, they're also, if they're on the border, it's mostly it's that classic, like every person in the parking lot is from the other state or something, right?
But it's like so
the cop sits there.
expensive that like it's not reasonable, and people, they're thriving.
Well, it depends on who's
thriving
the guy
black
selling
market.
it thinks it's reasonable. He's loving it. He's like,
Yeah, for sure.
because there's no competition. It sounds
Well,
like.
it's reasonable for some people that don't have. That's their only way to get their herb, to get their products. By all means, like offer it. But then everybody else, there's so much hookup. So then coming back to the Chinese, I've never heard of the Chinese. And everybody I talk to who's moving stuff all says it's coming from Oklahoma, California, and sometimes Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, the Chinese are doing huge things. I was told on the show recently, but a friend of mine was DJing out in California was talking to a friend of his. He's known him for years. That guy was a grower, and he's like, "Hey, man, you want to come check out my grow? I'm about to sell it, so it's kind of like the last chance to come check it out." He goes, "Oh, okay, cool." Thinking nothing of it, they drive downtown LA. It's like, they pull up to the spot. All of a sudden there's a gate, which wasn't really there to be, like, couldn't see the gate at first because it was kind of hidden. Gate opens up, dudes in bulletproof jackets with guns there, open the gate. They basically close the gate behind him. The guy throws him a vest and says, "Put on this vest." And he's like, What are you talking about? He's like, "Yeah, it's just protocol, basically." So instead of putting on like a suit to go walk around and not get bugs in, you got to put a bulletproof vest on, because the whole place, it was all Chinese, and he said everywhere he looked there was like people kind of sleeping wherever they could, because there was like just nonstop shifts going on.
When was this?
Last year.
Really?
And he said that the way that the Chinese worked it out was they came to his friend, they bought everything he had, and they'd come back every week, buy everything he had, whatever he harvested, but then they kind of chiseled him on the price each time. They'd be like, "All right, we'll take 2,000 whatever units you got, and we'll do it at this price." And they would knock it down slowly but surely, to the point where he was like and they really knew what they were doing, and they were like, "We'll just take the whole place. How's that? You know what I mean? Here's your price. You can walk away." And of course for him it was like, okay, because he couldn't make ends meet, and
That was in California, right?
in Cali and LA.
Yeah.
And so he sold it off to those guys, and they've been doing this to all sorts of grows all over the place. And on top of that, they're also doing tons of illegal grow. This is like a semi-legal grow, but it was being run, like he said, they brought the people in containers from China to work. They never leave the building.
100%.
I
So
hate
they are
when you tell this part of the story.
Full-on slavery going on, you know what I mean? And then they have no
If I ever
passport.
find out where this is, I'm fucking calling
This is
somebody.
like a lot. Like when I said, when I first come
A
to Colorado, because industrial Midwest, we make our own. We got our own labor. You can't. It's really hard to go and compete there in the labor force. But in Colorado, the labor force is more white collar. So then the Asians come on in. Is how I kind of viewed it. You know what I mean? Come on in, and that's why you could get all that hash plant back in the early 2000s. Is like the Asians have it all, and it's like how when they the Asians.
They were growing Bubba Kush for a long time, and apparently they like ran it to the ground. Like the triads were growing so much of it that it was just like, you know, another one of those, like, you know, they latch on to something, they like it, they're gonna do it till the fucking wheels fall off, you know.
I see that people, a lot of the people who I know who do that personally are people who don't smoke. They're just like, this is a product. Why would I transfer my product? My people like my product. Coca-Cola, when you change the recipe, people don't want Coca-Cola no more. You know, they want Pepsi all of a sudden.
Pepsi.
I had a conversation today with someone who said that they were looking to find some real sativa in a dispensary. And I said, keep looking. He goes, but won't I be able to find a strain that's labeled as sativa? I said, you will be able to find maybe a sativa-leaning hybrid. It will always be a hybrid, and it will be grown in 57 days or whatever, because the grower is not in charge of the menu of the strains they grow. When it comes down to it, the chief financial officer is. And I've been in the room and heard these conversations with, I don't want to use master grower, but I'll say an Adam Dunn, someone who is just going to be about the plant, right? That's the plant's representative. And you're explaining to them why you need 85 days. You know?
I try every single location I ever tour. I ask the same question, and I always do it in front of the grower because I know he wants to hear it. And I always like go, hey, how come you guys don't devote like 2 of these rooms to like a 10-week strain or something? And the guy will be like, oh, thank you.
Shut up! Shush!
The grower will be like, no, the grower will be like, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. And the guy will be like, oh, we can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? No, can't do it. It has to be 8 weeks. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, well, we figured it out. We looked on, you know, it's like, yeah, okay. In your pencil pushing ways, did you also take into account that you could probably get a 20% bigger yield? And
for 15% more growth time.
And then you start doing the numbers, it's actually a higher yield than you would have had and less work per year because the grower only has to put in X amount of times and he can grow less plants per room because they're bigger, meaning less clones, meaning just like all about the things that you can take the workload off the grower and actually have a better harvest.
No, but you're usually
and have something totally unique that nobody has. But no, we're going to all grow 8-week strains and just be like, dude, they don't even exist.
When you're the visiting person coming in, this is when you hear the CFO or the management guy go, Adam, we've had this conversation before. Okay? We've had this conversation before. It's 8 weeks.
Every single spot I go into, and I've never seen a spot that devoted a 10, and that's only a 10-week strain. I was thinking, man, I'd have 8-week room, 10-week rooms, 12-week rooms. You know what I mean? 14-week rooms, even if you really want to get crazy and exotic. But it's for the most part like it just means bigger plants, usually, because those plants take so much. They're just bigger. It's just like you have a 10-foot, 12-foot indoor plant was like ridiculous, but it would take up the room of about 12 other plants. So you start to look at the numbers and you're like, okay, wait a minute, this starts to make more sense. And you just will never get those terp profiles in an 8-week time frame just because those things aren't even developed yet. And
well, it's wild because I've never looked for that in my life, in my grow. They just look for what do you like? What's in here? I mean, what's happy, what produces, but really it's what do you like, that's what you're going to keep.
Well, but finishing times is also like, if you let the plant do it, you'd be surprised because there's times where, like sage, for instance, sage has a three bump flowering thing. Like you get the first at around 55 days. You see everything there that you're like, oh, okay. Like if you didn't know, you could start thinking it's maybe getting close because it starts to swell up a little bit, but it's really just starting at that point, right? So then all of a sudden, and then around 10 weeks, so like 8 weeks, it's around 56 days, has the first bump. Then around the 65 days, another bump, and then you got to let it go to about 72 days. And on the 72 to 75 days,
on the first day of Christmas,
it's perfect. That's the perfect little window right there. But most people don't ever go there. They usually see that if they even make it past the first, I'm impressed because it'll be like, What'd you do? You did. Oh, it was ready in 9 weeks, and I'm like, no, it wasn't. You should have let it go because you really see and the amount of growth, because that's also what people don't realize. If you're in the flower room each day, and you see like that those 5 weeks, 6 weeks, like 3, 4, 5 is stuff's happening, but nothing great. 5, 6, 7, things are really going. 8, 9, and 10, that's when all the weight happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you're just missing out on a lot of weight if you pull it early, because a lot
your
of people.
CFO has told you to harvest.
And everybody's
4
also
weeks ago.
looking at people that want to make cash, of course, and they can harvest early because that's part of the game. And you want to have those terps. You want those trikes to be a little clearer because you don't want the color, which is another faux pas in a sense, because darkness of cannabinoid or of trikes and the final product usually means a higher cannabinoid in there, and also stronger. You know what I mean? So like that's amber is what we used to think was the color. Now everybody thinks it's clearer than amber for some reason, but amber was the go-to.
Why do you guys think that dispensaries label even go through the humor of labeling something an indica or a sativa?
Marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
Marketing
it's all
to
for
older people who don't understand the terpene situation.
Yeah, Dave. Oh,
Thank you.
I don't think it's older people.
What
I
do you
think it's the
say?
average person.
Yeah,
has
just
no-
the average not weed person who's
Yeah.
like, hey, I want to try this stuff. I heard there's some stuff that keeps you awake
Well, I mean,
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I could use some right now, Dave.
have some,
kidding.
sativa?
I'm-
I got
have
here.
some coffee.
I'm kidding with you. Oh, well, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, you gotta try that one. Try that one. Wake up. Wake the fuck up.
See, and that's the interesting
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You're giving him BHO.
Uh-huh.
So BHO will translate
Oh, the work.
the terpenes, but we both know that there was a major edibles company here in Colorado nationwide that sold distillate gummies labeled as indica or
Now
sativa.
you're speaking his language over there. He's all, what? Cha-ching.
You know, and that's just fucking bullshit.
Put your head back.
You
You
know.
dump this in your mouth.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Shake your head around like in Mexico.
Yeah, that's just absolute bullshit. And so they're hopefully when we have descheduling and we actually have some regulatory commissions that look into this practice.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see fucking Tyson again?
No, I don't watch anything he does.
He's
What?
claiming there's some big things happening. Like today he said end of the week, but I haven't heard anything today, but unfortunately he's on that whole Schedule 3 tip. Like he really wants that because he's got his businesses, of course, and he's looking at it from a tax point of view, and he thinks it's like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I'm like, oh no. He's got the inside scoop. He better not. But we'll see.
I hope not.
We'll see. I don't think so.
I hope not. And I mean, I guess we should have probably asked someone in the know, Tony Manitti, if you're listening. What is the whole process? How will Schedule 3 or descheduling occur? Who needs to push the button? At the end of the day, under whose authority is it? Is it just that the administration in charge gives a nod to somebody at the DEA, and somebody at the DEA says, "We feel this"? I mean, is there anybody out there who knows? I mean, I'm curious as to
the hard part is like a lot of these things. Even if they make a decision at one level, it's going to be a while before you see any changes on the actual street level.
We need to pull there needs to be a Jimmy Carter event. You know what I mean? Like there has to be something that makes everybody go, let's just leave it Schedule 1. You know? Just leave it alone. We don't want to touch it right now. Maybe something will happen. Well, they're not going to do that right away. They're going to try to threaten more of 3.
Like apple and banana.
Nobody in the authority, no one. The only person who was the proponent were people like us. There was nobody in government who was for descheduling that I know of. Where are they? Who is it? Is it Ron Wyden in Oregon, or Bernie or I don't know. Who are they? Where are they? 'Cause
Where are they?
I know there are plenty of elected officials for Schedule 3, which is unfortunate.
Even what's his face? Fucking Mitch McConnell even was like, he's for it.
Mitch McConnell actually wrote an abacus, right? He supported an abacus brief from his state to defend a medical patient under the current laws. So, and that was a long time ago, right? That was like 2015 or 2016 or something like that. So they all have their individual, maybe somebody finally showed him how much money he could make. If it goes that way, at the end of the day, that's what's going to lead the argument. They're going to figure out how much money they can make off of us. But it wouldn't be the first time, right? We'd have to call what everyone has been doing long before us, and right now, they're pioneers towards what inevitably will be legislation, one way or another, on cannabis, where growing up, the legislation was bracelets and incarceration. So hopefully it won't be that now, but if it does...
Vermont Skunk is saying that Tyson is for descheduling Schedule 3 as stepping stone. I disagree on the stepping stone
There's
thing.
no stepping stone.
There's never been a stepping stone in the way with this. There's never nothing's ever gone from this to this and then get to deschedule. It's either we deschedule it now or we never going to be able to, because once you put it into Schedule 3, it's locked up. Like it'll be the same amount of time as it's been since it was there. Like what, fucking 50 years.
Who said that? It was Vermont. So I agree that Tyson probably believes that.
And I've heard a bunch of people talk about it, but it's like, no, that's not how things work. No. You got to understand, we're not going to go.
You don't think it would be like medical and recreational?
No.
How a state goes med, then goes rec.
Where is recreational oxycodone?
No, but he's talking about the process. He's talking about the
I'm
process.
just saying they won't allow something like that. Once they control it, they're never giving it up. We have a road here. You live in Colorado, right? You ever take E470?
No.
So I take the toll road if I go to the airport, because just sometimes going through 270 here, it's a nightmare road. Okay? So we have a toll road, 470. And when it was built, a year after the airport went online, we voted on this. And the agreement was, it was going to be, I get this backwards, it's either $8 to get to the airport for 6 years or $6 for 8 years. Whatever it was, okay? It's not splitting hairs. That was 25 years ago, and now it's $12.40. They're not going to ever give up a revenue stream. It doesn't.
Then what do you think? I understand that. So then, but what would you say about the police losing all their money when the medical hits or the recreational hits, and then they're not getting all this revenue through probation and court fees, etc.?
They're going to still get that, because anybody who wouldn't have cannabis in a prescription bottle can be arrested. If you try to go through TSA right now with a little bit of cannabis on you and they find it, they're probably going to ignore it. If you try to go,
like in Denver or whatever, it doesn't matter.
If you try to go through, well, because I'm not talking about the city and state, I'm talking about feds. If you try to go through with OxyContin in a plastic bag, you might get in trouble. You know what I mean? If they found it.
Well, that's funny that you say that, because a friend of mine just sent me a link of someone in Illinois getting arrested, and one of the charges was less than 10 grams of marijuana, right? And it was like, the state's legal. You can have 2 ounces on you, and you got arrested. And
because it was federal property, because it was the airport.
No, this is not an airport. I'm just saying this is just out and about. This is just corruption of governments. I mean, apparently you can write whatever you want to write when you're arresting somebody, but then I've heard if it was not labeled as you're saying, like, and then
I don't know that's where you were going with that.
Yeah, I'm saying that once, so now you have cannabis. If it's not a prescription bottle,
right?
When it's Schedule 3, you're in a lot of trouble. There's already a system of laws on how you get penalized for that.
Like, you got to have it in this certain jar, and then. What I don't know what exactly it is in Colorado, but in Minnesota, I understand that if you have the lid off your jar, you can be $1,000 fine or probation.
How about we bring it down to the lowest little fact? Are you telling me a physician somewhere out there is going to prescribe smoking anything, that they're going to really they're going to say, in my opinion, I am going to write you a prescription, which means you can use a combusted substance to
You
heal.
never got your medical license before here?
I did.
Because the doctors I went to were like, enjoy.
This is much
You know
different
what I
now.
mean?
They were not giving a prescription. They were giving a recommendation.
Right.
They say, in my opinion, cannabis
Outseller, right?
might
Very
work for
terpy.
you.
Very true.
Legally, right.
Right?
It's old
so
too, right?
how will they
months
do
old,
it if they
5 months
have to write a prescription that needs to be checked by the DEA and all that?
Well, that's the thing is, like, right now, people haven't really thought it through. Of course, everybody's like, yeah, but they're not going to change nothing. It's going to stay the same. It's like, okay, why even give them the fucking option to make it like now we're in a situation where, okay, yeah, they might not right out of the gate do anything. But once they have a position where the pharmaceutical companies are really the only ones who can touch this shit, or you have to have everybody's like, yeah, I'll just have a pharmacist on site. It's like, really? Okay. Do you know how much a pharmacist costs, like, per year on
Yeah,
site?
Tony taught us that,
Like-
$150,000 a year,
Right there.
minimum.
Minimum.
And that's only probably if they came in for a couple of hours a day. If you
Yeah.
have to have it fully staffed, multiply that by.
Well, yeah, that's like one guy.
Yeah.
So imagine when you have like, oh, well, we need to sell X amount to X amount of people. We want to open up 5 lanes.
But
It's
couldn't
like,
you get someone right out of med school and probably pay them a lot less?
No. Now, right out of med school, they need to start banking.
well,
They got debt.
you're talking about dealing with super high. Well, this is the other thing too. Anybody who's done legal cannabis and deals with metric understands that it's a lot of protocol. It's a whole lot of inputs. It's hiring somebody who just does compliance every single day. That's all they do. Worry about little numbers on fucking bags and things going from A to B and plants getting taken out of veg and putting into flower and then taking from flower and putting into process. All a lot of just bullshit, but it's at the same time, you got to make sure it's on point, because if you don't, you're going to go and fucking fined. You get fined enough, you get shut down. Take that to the next level, and now you're starting to deal with FDA and fucking government forms every day, checking in, checking out. You can't close. You can't just be like, yeah, bro, see you next week. Throw the weed in the fucking safe. We're done. It's like, no, you got to fill in every little piece of paper and every little doohickey and fucking.
We had on Tony Minetti. He was a pharmacist who also owned a dispensary, and I guess you got to watch the episode when you see the pained look on his face.
what he had to do.
When, and not only what he had to do, but how he felt about our side of the space when people made all these assumptions about what they thought was going to happen. You know, how, they won't really come after this. They'll still allow us to smoke, and they'll just give us relief from 280E. And we can just go about business, and we don't have to pay.
Nothing will change.
Nothing will change. No fucking. Where does it say that? And the reason they're not telling us what they're going to do under Schedule 3 is because they are telling us there's already rules for how they treat Schedule 3 drugs. Okay? They're already there. So that's what they're going to do. And so when everyone goes, well, I wish and I know, I hope, and no fucking way. Show it to me in writing. Show it to me in writing. So that's why Tyson, I hope, if you know, I don't know if you listen to our show, but if someone knows him and is listening to the show, maybe have a conversation with him. He's a very influential person in the cannabis industry.
That's the sad
right
part,
now.
though, is when you hear like him and fucking Bill Maher and all these people like.
Well,
they don't-
hey, Bill Maher has not said anything about that
No?
since we sent that note to Morris.
Oh, well, there you go.
So
we
hopefully
have
maybe
influence.
something got
We
to
have
him about
influence
that.
Bill Maher.
You know.
Oh, maybe.
So, I don't know, but I mean, I'd love to have conversation. It doesn't have to be us, with anyone who understands Tony Minetti. There isn't going to be a stepping stone with Schedule 3. Okay, if we could just get that out of the way.
Well, also,
Okay.
for instance, he has under one roof dispensary and pharmacy, and they're there, and it's all like, so he's like driving both fucking cars at the same
They're
time.
physically divided by a barrier.
Yeah, they're physically
you know,
divided, but I'm saying they're still, like, he is in the trenches dealing with it. So if they came in after the fact, went Schedule 3, and then gave everybody else dude, you guys get to just do whatever you want, and he would be like, Are you fucking kidding me? I've been doing shit by the book every day, having to like you're gonna let all these people just come in and do whatever the fuck they want. I don't think
Well,
it's gonna
every pharmacist is going to say that.
Yeah.
They're going to go. There's no way we want to. We have
and
to.
there's not enough pharmacists
Yeah.
to fill all of these spots and keep the. You know what I mean? It's like you start to get because it's a serious, like
Similar to Thailand, that they have to have a pharmacist. It's the
Oh,
same-
Thailand. You know what?
Well, Thailand
Maybe
might
today,
be a little bit more.
we don't know about tomorrow.
It may be a little
you
more
know.
loosey-goosey there
Yeah.
than here, or than in the States when it comes to this. Because at the end of the day, though, it just puts MSOs in a better position and puts all the smaller dispensaries out of business really quickly because they can't afford to have that $150,000 guy.
This
And-
is life, right?
I know.
Why?
but
Why do you think that? Only if the MSO can effectively exit. If they can get bought out by big pharma.
I think
or-
that's what they're. But that's what they're positioning themselves
Why
for.
would they tell me why you're big pharma? Okay, you're big pharma. You control the paycheck, and
Alright.
you've been fucking people over
Big pharma
forever.
right here,
Adam is
right
big.
over
Well,
here.
they always think you're a Rothschild anyway.
Hold on.
So you're big
Oh,
pharma,
Up high now.
right?
Dum-da-da-da.
Why? What process? What branding? What do you actually think that you want? I love Incredibles. They're our friends. Tell me, what do they have that you're big pharma? What do you need? Wouldn't you just go, I'm sorry, you're non-compliant.
Would steamroll over everybody, obviously.
I just open up my own. I don't need you anymore. You can't sell
I'm
your
ju-
product anymore.
I'm just saying they're going to. That's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
I'm saying they're going to drive all the small people away physically by just crushing them.
They're not even. They can't sell a product. They have to. You have to create the product now. It's Schedule 3.
Well, that's when it gets a little complicated too, because all of a sudden Schedule 3 is based on single molecule medicine. It's not anything to do with plants, anything to
Oh.
do with full plants, full spectrum, anything. So it's literally going to sort of become competing for itself at that
So
point.
tell me again, you're big pharma now, okay?
Okay.
Come, stop acting like Adam Dunn, the cannabis guy.
shit, sorry.
Be big pharma. Tell me how and why, when you spend billions on figuring out all these new extraction and medicines and everything you're going to do with a cannabis plant, you would just let Mark attempt to grow even using paper towels. Why? Why would you ever let him grow at home? Isn't that a direct threat to your bottom line?
Well, they take away growers' rights all the time, though. So, like, as this happens, we don't see what they're thinking is the next step. And it's, like, obviously to remove the growers' rights. Like,
Right.
that's the...
There's no growers' rights. You were not allowed to grow.
Right. So, no, but I'm saying they'll regulate it even more and just put a higher barrier. They're businessmen. They'll figure it out.
Well, this is what we don't like. So I'm just saying, don't give them the opportunity by.
Oh, facts. But then I would take
but-
another step back and say, like, this is what legalization did to good weed.
Well-
Why does weed suck so bad right now?
But I
Because
believe
it's legal.
I
Because
believe
it's-
after
My
prohibition,
opinion.
after
You know.
prohibition came back, there were rules, right? When they finally removed the right, alcohol wasn't illegal anymore. You still couldn't make it at home.
Right.
You had to get it from a licensed facility. So, what's the difference? You know, the licensed facility is going to be Bayer and Johnson & Johnson. So I again, big pharma. Why? It's
Corona,
like you're
whatever.
making me speak for big pharma.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't see it. So Mike Tyson, if you're listening, Bill Maher, anybody out there, just please come and explain it to us.
Well, I would
how
take
you-
another step back and say you can still get moonshine right now.
Now you can. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't finish my
It
point.
never died. Like, you can still get home brewed. You can still get good herb. You can still get it. It's around. It's just actually now it's actually counterculture when you're doing it in your garage, in your basement, in your back bedroom, on your back porch, whatever. It's actually like if the culture's all going this way, then that's not counterculture. And to be on this edge of actually highest quality of everything, I'd rather pay someone. If I was a drinker, I'd rather buy your homebrew. You know what I mean?
I agree. What? So to my point, homebrew. You use that. I'm pretty sure, right? There was like 60 years where you couldn't do that here. After Prohibition, it was only until I want to say like the 80s you started seeing homebrew kits and people. So if that's the equivalent, then they're going to shut down personal growing
For sure.
for decades until it's been long forgotten and they've controlled it and then maybe it'll come back. And now we do have microbrews and all these breweries.
But do we have people
know.
selling tobacco? Would a tobacco smoker buy my tobacco? It'd have to be some heady tobacco. If you just how difficult it is to get the license to grow and sell tobacco. You can grow it.
I don't think you can.
I think they're like 3 companies, and they own it all.
That's what my point.
Yeah.
It's the same. These are the people. You're saying big pharma. It's like big tobacco, but big tobacco is big food, right? Because they all own all the same
Bayer,
stuff.
Johnson & Johnson,
Yeah.
are they not the same company? And Merck and Pfizer and what's the
Taco
other
Bell,
one?
McDonald's, etc. All
Well, no, there's only 2 of those.
right. That's what I'm saying.
There's only
There's
two
only a
fast food
handful of people.
companies.
And are they all buddies with each other? You know what I mean? Are they all lobbying for each other?
Well,
You know.
one of the other difference between Schedule 3 and 1 right now, I mean, even though it's Schedule 1 and it's like, okay, it's in the worst bracket, they're also not federally allowed to use any money to go after it, right? So we have this kind of like weird juxtaposition where it's like, okay, if they don't have the budget to do that, when it goes into Schedule 3, now that all kind of turns on the fucking, now they get the budget and they have something to protect because they have an industry, you know, because this industry now, they recognize it as medically acceptable. So now all of a sudden we all know the medical value of cannabis because we know we can't say it does anything and cures or nothing, but we also know it relieves people. We know it's got pain relief. We know it helps people sleep. We know it's got glaucoma. There's tons of stuff we know for sure. So they know for sure. They've already patented it. So we're just like giving them the key to the fucking, here you go. Oh, okay, so we'll go Schedule 3. So now it's directly accepted. So we get our tax money, and the home growers think they're safer for some magical reason, but they're not, because all of a sudden when the lights come on and they go like, holy fuck, we can make a lot of money with this. Like, dude,
Right.
I just figured out you can get a boner with this shit. Dude, boner, woohoo, we got a winner. You know, that's all it takes. Hair loss, boners. That's what the world revolves around, right? When it comes to pharma. It's all it is.
I
How do we figure it
you're
out?
absolutely
so if
right.
they can crack the code and come up with the weed that grows hair and you get a boner, we're good. We
Well,
got
that's
$1 billion, billions.
Mark, what are you smoking these days, man?
Yeah.
Boner weed?
I mean, look at that head of hair.
Straw guava.
Look at that head of hair.
Thank
Oh.
you. Yeah. So.
I had some straw guava.
Yeah.
That's what we were smoking.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah, well, I think the average consumer wants it to be as federally open as possible.
Yeah.
They want it to be in the gas station. They want fast food drive-throughs. You want everything. You want to be able to actually deliver it to your house. When can Amazon?
Of course,
When can
drones.
Bezos start
And
getting
what's
his
the
cut?
answer to that is descheduling, if they want that. If they
But
think...
they think the average consumer, as far as when I talk to people, it would just be any movement towards that they would think is
Tell me
great.
why they think it, because there's numbers,
Yeah, just because the numbers are going down.
but why it doesn't... It's like trying to say, what's your favorite citrus fruit? And you answer...
Yeah, but
a
it's
state.
complex because those numbers aren't as clear. It doesn't mean across the board it's better. It's the same as when you vote for anything, like there's like hidden things on the ballot. I remember one time in Fort Collins being able to vote for more green space on a little measure on the ballot, and it was actually more green space plus more police officers.
So here's what Tony Manitti would say. He would say, tell me right now, since if it goes Schedule 3, there's already laws for Schedule 3 drugs. Tell me right now what Schedule 3 drug you can grow at home.
Yeah, but the average person doesn't care about growing.
You're not, but you can't grow it. You can't make a Schedule 3 drug at home.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like in a logical way, but the average person's not looking into it. I'm just saying, if you ask a random person in this neighborhood, hey, do you think it's better, if they even have any understanding of what 1, 2, and 3 mean.
Of English in this neighborhood, sorry.
Yeah. My Spanish isn't good enough.
I think
They'd be
that's
like,
why
what? Hey.
if anybody out there knows Mike Tyson, we'd love to have him on the show and talk with him.
Oh, yeah, get Mike on the show
You
now.
know?
Stat. Jamie,
Anybody.
get in touch with Mike.
I mean, we'd love to. He likes to talk about the industry. I think he would feel very poorly if he got behind Schedule 3 and it turned out to be what we've been saying.
And also, if we loop it back, I think he would be a very big supporter of someone who says actually boxing is the best for self-defense. To loop earlier of what's better, jiu-jitsu or etc. You know.
Well, should we?
Do some ads.
All right. You want to?
Pauline, you were being so stinky tonight.
Is there anywhere we can catch you? I mean, before we.
Catch you? Yeah, where are we catching you at? Where are you going to be on stage?
I'm not on stage, but Organic Cannabis Wizard, obviously.
Obviously, look at him.
You know what I mean? I mean, I'm nobody, but
the wizard, wizardness.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that's what's
It was funny.
up.
I was talking to my friend the other day, and I mentioned you, and he's like, instantly, because it's kind of like a Big Mike situation, right? You say Big Mike to almost anybody, they probably know a Big Mike.
Right.
Wizard in the weed world, you could say it and it rings a. So he's like, "Oh, dude, I met the wizard in California," and I was like, "No, different wizard." And he's like, "Oh, dude, this guy was pretty much a wizard." And I pulled out thing, showed him your thing, and he had to laugh because he's like, "Distribution, that guy's crazy." Like, it was so funny. He definitely.
Well, most people think you're a baseball player.
No, not me.
I'm just saying. You see how you could have that name?
Put a link to your book out on there.
Oh,
thank
there you
very much.
go.
You did
Now
that,
we're-
Mark, without
Mark,
being asked.
You're so good.
You're the best, buddy.
You almost deserve a raise if
All right,
if we
great.
had paid you.
Double his
whatever.
pay.
Great.
Double your pay from 0 to 0 times 2. 0 to
Great.
the second power.
Right on.
Well, you know,
Well, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank
Yeah,
you so
thanks for
much.
being
Thanks
Thanks for
for-
coming down to So High Cafe.
exactly.
4300 West Alameda.
Ooh, I was-
Sorry, what'd you say? What were you? I didn't mean to. cut you
Yeah,
off.
I was just gonna say thank you for coming through to spice up the fight talk. Since Dave and I were gonna fail, we're gonna fail down the road. We're like, so anyway, what's it like getting punched in the face?
Yeah.
Dave's never had that experience.
Yeah,
Right.
what do you mean? I
Oh,
grew up in New...
Oh, Dave got punched lots of times. Shh, don't.
Oh yeah.
When was the last time you got punched in the face?
It was 12.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Me too.
Yeah, it's been a while for me.
I haven't really
I've
had a
never
good.
been punched in the
Whoa,
face.
it's about time.
And even then, don't know if it was a real... we were probably just swinging wildly. I don't know.
Anyways,
So High Cafe, Viper Pit Barbecue, and Taqueria. I have tried so far now the tacos there, and I can speak. They are fire.
I just
fire,
got 4 of
fire.
them over
And
there.
he's even he's dialing.
I'm
his
sorry.
shit.
How many, Mark?
I got 4 tacos
Cuatro?
Cuatro
Yeah.
taco.
Cuatro tacos?
for $11. It was delicious.
That's a great price.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's a great price. Four tacos, $11. You can't beat that. You can also come down and get his mac and cheese.
I'm taking
His
home a
wings.
half pound of brisket too.
Half a pound
You
of
can
brisket.
gringify,
dude.
gringify your
We're
dish
gonna
with
make
some
brisket
mac and cheese.
breakfast tacos in the morning.
Adam, I know you don't eat meat, so you can't appreciate this, but
Melt in your mouth.
Vinny cut me some brisket
Last week. I took some of that home because of you.
That
And it was
wasn't it?
it was so
something?
good.
He nailed it.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah,
good.
he nailed it.
Nailed it. So on point. It was. So you know how like there's sometimes you want to savor something. This was where I first took a bite of it, and I said I really want to savor this, and then I stuffed all the pieces into my mouth. I couldn't stop. It was so amazing.
And then the other half into your cargo pants.
You put briskets in your cargo pants?
Yeah, dude. Like
Nice.
Yeah,
In your
No.
pockets,
Napoleon
fill up your side
Dynamite?
Yeah.
Fill up your side pockets there.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I didn't.
Nice.
So High Cafe, Viper Pit Barbecue, 4300 West Alameda. Call ahead if you want a large order.
Dude, shout out to Vinny and
Yeah.
Eric, both taking care of my dad's party this weekend.
I
dude.
heard it
That
was wall
crazy.
to wall.
It was crazy.
Yeah, Vinny
I've
said he
never
was,
seen it so full.
Vinny said it was
Stop it.
crazy.
wild.
He was like, "Yeah, I think it's gonna be all right." And all of a sudden, he was like, "Dude, every single square inch
It was crazy.
of the place was."
Ozocoffee.com. You enter Dunn
Get
deal.
photos. You get some photos.
No,
You should have had a sneak a
I
photo.
know,
So Vinny could have
right?
been like, "This is an average day.
I have to see.
Average day
I
at
have
the
to see.
So High Cafe."
Someone else.
Call everybody back.
I'm
Tell
calling
him to
him.
come back for the photo.
Yeah. So you go to ozocoffee.com. You enter Dunn Deal 2025 at checkout. You're going to get 20% off your entire order of coffee beans shipped to your house. It is like this. They're the strain hunters of coffee. They go around the globe. They meet farmers. They buy the beans green. They ship it to Boulder. They roast it on a 1959 roaster. My dog is being stinky.
On a unicycle while doing the thing. Come on, you gotta do the whole deal.
Yeah, the whole
So
deal.
the whole hipster
Come on,
thing.
Dave.
Whoop, whoop, ba-da-da-da-da.
While
You gotta
twirling a
imagery.
plate.
Twirling up, yes.
4300 West Alameda. ozocoffee.com.
Wow. Buildasoil.com. 855-877-SOIL. And you don't even have to call them now.
No, you can though. You can call them up and say, "Hey, man, I just want to talk
can.
to you because, like, take you away from your work."
Yeah, they're like plant
Where's
support
they
therapy.
at? Where's Build the Soil at?
Montrose.
Okay.
So but you can order anything online, and you can use Dunn Deal in the discount code. Finally, it's taken us a good 8 years, 9 years.
It's fine. They fix it.
But we got it. We got it
That's
going.
We got it.
We
It's nice.
got it. Be part of that official Dunn Deal crowd.
It's nice to be back. Get the done deal.
That's
you can do
right.
it. You don't even have to talk to someone now.
Now you can
No.
just get in there,
In case you have
order
the
it.
anxiety.
But they have the best of organic inputs, hard to find things you could never find, and lots of collabs he's been doing. He did collab with Duke Diamond. They have their own soil. He's done collabs with Jay the Plant Speaker and all sorts of different stuff.
And you can get Miles ferments
Oh yeah,
there
Miles.
too.
There's another one right there. He's right in there.
Buildasoil.com. Done deal in the promo field.
Dun-dun-dun.
YoTip.com.
What an amazing product. Absolutely amazing product. Just hearing Elliot say, I haven't been sick in 6 years, 5 years. Really sick. I really do blame it on YoTips.
Good job,
It's
Dave.
part and parcel to keeping me safe. Keep you safe too. It's a better way to smoke any pre-roll joint. It's something about the way those pre-roll
Did you see-
cones.
Oh wait, where's our picture? Did you get your picture?
What
You
picture?
saw it. Of our tips, man. Where's our tip picture? Mark. It's in the Adam Dunn show.
Get it up
Yo
there.
tips. You didn't see it?
In what?
In our fucking
I bet-
thread.
I
In the
play
what?
phone
In
tag
the
with
WhatsApp
them.
or what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
Should be there.
Well,
I didn't
what?
see
You
it.
want it right now?
Oh, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's not there. I'll find it.
YoTip.com.
Hold on.
Done deal at checkout or Yo Products LLC on Instagram.
Oh, it's in Instagram. That's where it was.
Oh, there we go.
Instagroid.
Instagroid.
Instagroid. It is just the only way I will share a joint. I'm not putting my mouth on something where I don't know
Uh-oh.
where your mouth has been.
Ooh.
So you avoid
Dave.
wook flu, conference cough, hippie lip, and
What? It disappeared.
It's
we'll
gone
get it
now.
again.
We'll never even get
Stole it.
YoTip.com.
You took it back. How's that?
Holoshealth.org,
But I saw
MMJ
it. It was
cards,
there and then it disappeared as I
and
clicked.
microdose mushroom
What the
therapy.
hell?
Get the
Done
done
deal.
deal. Dabx.com.
An amazing company.
I
He
found my
must
deal.
be super busy right now because I'm leaving him weekly messages and I'm getting no response. So
Oh,
maybe he's
normal.
really close.
Figured you out.
So you go to dabx.com, you enter Done Deal at checkout, and you will get 20% off your order.
I lost this in the bus.
20%.
I lost this in the bus on
Found
the way
it?
back from Big Dummy to New York trip.
Yeah.
And it was like I was in the passenger seat and I was fucking doing dabs, and I wasn't driving because that would never happen.
Never.
Never in a million years. So I was sitting there in the passenger seat doing dabs, and then I literally, like 1 second to the next, lost this thing, and I was like, fuck. And I looked everywhere, and then that was what, 8 months ago, who knows? And then I was painting it recently, so I've been doing it. So I'm cleaning it all up, sitting there, and I literally just had this like, oh, I see it now. Now I see it, and I looked. There's this like stupid piece of, there's like this thing that holds drinks, and it was like slid down between these two little things, and I knew it. I psychically knew where it was. I was like, because I was on the ground, like looking. I was like, oh, and I looked in there, and there it was, and I was like, oh my god, you're back. Because I just broke the other one like couple
So
weeks
don't
ago.
be like Adam. Don't lose your Pro Tool.
I
You
either
can
break
get
or lose things so easily.
20% off your Pro Tool at dabx.com when you use
Get
the
two of
code
them.
Done
The
Deal.
Pro Tool is the best. I'm telling you.
Nah.
You don't like it?
I'm
hot?
a regular dabber type of guy.
Well, the thing I like about this one is when you're
You
doing
go bareback?
when
I
you're
go
doing-
bareback.
when you're doing like moving a lot of material around and stuff. It's kind of nice because it's got a really big scooper deal. Like if you look at the one from that other company, it's tiny and it's all
Sure.
it's
Right.
crap. This
That's a
thing
big-
is like it's got a beveled scoop, so you can like literally plop,
Okay.
and then you clean it off by heating it up.
Do make sure you use those sound effects.
Bloopity
Dump,
blop.
clop, clop.
Glibbity glop.
and
Glibbity
globbity
glop.
globs.
So yes, it's a very cool tool.
And one thing we don't talk about all the time
You can even smoke
because
with it if you're stuck somewhere. You just put a little bit on the end. Come on.
One
Yeah,
thing we
dude.
don't talk about is how easy it is to clean a DabX Go. You don't talk about it because it takes 2 seconds. You pop a silicone disc, you put it in the freezer. A couple hours later, you crack the disc out. You've used one terp wipe, you can clean the whole unit.
Clean your
DabX.com.
unit.
Done deal at checkout.
And when
Dave
you're
said it.
cleaning that unit, you can use a turp
When you're in
wipe.
there with your wipe,
Terpwipes.com
Get rid of the
/done
tip.
deal.
Clean the tip.
Terpwipes.com /done deal.
burns.
Terpwipes. Yeah,
It's a
don't use it
burner.
on your tip.
And you can fill up that
Oh,
DabX
yeah.
Not
with
that stick either.
14 or bolder.
14 or bolder. The Truth
Truth.
is back in
Truth.
stock. It's heirloom series. It is really one of the parents of DJC.
Really is.
The Truth by Deadhead OG. So you go to 14orbolder.com. You
Does-
enter Done Deal at checkout. You get 20% off your order. What's that?
Does that have? Do you know the parents of that?
The
Yeah.
Truth is a different strain than
It's not the Jamaican. It's a Jamaican.
I thought there was a Jamaican like Blue Mountain.
this. I am told actually
go back one slide.
came from that
Does
that
it
one
say it
right
on there?
there.
Does it
Nope.
say it?
It says
What?
Earth Black Pepper Hops.
Yeah.
Boo. We wanna
See,
know.
like I got a friend of mine went there, and I popped a seed out of the Jamaican Blue Mountain, but I thought it was the parent to the Truth,
I don't know.
and it was like one of the best.
I don't
strains
think
I've
they
ever
know
had.
the parents of the Truth.
It's
the way
definitely a
it was
Jamaican
acquired.
something.
Yes,
so.
it was from Jamaica.
Mhm.
The thought on it, and I thought you even said it, is that it probably came from Thailand years earlier, and was just grown in Jamaica for a very long time. But anyway, it is fire weed. They have this new Pixie disposable 1 gram live resin cart.
Those are handy dandy.
They are amazing.
They hit great.
I love everything about this company. I love everything about their flower. The products are fantastic. They don't sell anyone else's flower. If they didn't grow it, they don't sell it. 14orbolder.com. Done deal at checkout.
My bad, I forgot. Okay. Yeah, 14 or bolder, dude. Yeah. Grove bags.
Grovebags.com. They are the plastic glass. I guess that's what they are. They keep your weed fresh. I don't know what the time frame is. I'm sure they will tell you what they think. But
The
for me,
Terp
it's
Block
almost
will preserve
everything.
your product from its highest quality form from cultivation to consumption, Dave. Mold prevention, weight retention, and terpene preservation.
Fantastic, Mark. I'm glad you knew that. So you want to
Yeah.
go to their website. You want to shop there. Enter Done Deal. If it doesn't work, you want to click the contact form. You want to give them a call, and you want to say, Lance Lambert, I need a discount. Grovebags.com.
HortitechDirect.com.
A greenhouse for any climate anywhere in the U.S. and globally. You go to HortitechDirect.com. You give them a call. You tell them where you live. They're going to tell you what type of greenhouse you will need. Build 2 of them. You will see the difference.
Yeah, build 5.
Wow.
Build 5.
They offer
Get the done
code.
deal.
they
We need the
offer a
money. We need the
greenhouse
monies. We need the
with
monies.
2 walls where all the mechanicals are on the inside, so you can control your light cycle. HortitechDirect.com, and when you do buy that greenhouse, you make sure you mention that you were told you can get a box of 10 brushes
Besides
to
the
clean
discount.
your weed, in addition to 5% off your greenhouse.
All right. Numbnutsco.com. Get CBD nut butters, infused nut butters delivered to your door.
Just had some last night.
Nice, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Those little jars
Those little ones were good.
are good.
I already
yeah.
blazed through those.
Yeah, of course.
It reignited my numbnuts love again, where I was like,
Okay.
I should probably bust out another one then. So
Hell yeah.
The chocolate
So
bar
good.
was
That
good.
was like some of the best.
Oh yeah, you were here.
Peanut
For the last,
butter
you were
I've
here.
ever
You
had.
were here at the last numbnuts extravaganza.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Take
Oh,
it
yeah.
home. You got it. Sneak.
Who's that?
Who dat? Who dat?
Somebody's on Zoom, who?
Someone's on Zoom.
Zoom.
Who's on Zoom?
Numbnutsco.com. Co.com. JeromeBaker.com.
Did you turn that off? Anyone? Punch it. There we go. Thank you.
Who dat? Who dat?
Yeah.
You can tell, can't you?
Oh, it's. I think it's James Bean.
Of course, it's James Bean. Who else is going to be?
Turn it off until he comes back on.
James Bean.
You go to
Yeah,
Jerome
see.
Baker Glass, JeromeBaker.com. You give him a call. You tell him you heard about him on the show. He'll make you whatever you want. Won't be in Vegas. But we love the guy.
That's right. JeromeBaker.com. Check it out. September's rolling in, and at Seeds Here Now, the specials are skunky, sweet, and stacked with savings. Breeder of the month, Heavy Days Genetics, buy one, get one free, add 2 to your cart, we'll mark one down. Bold Phenos, fire flavor, double the heat. Flavor of the month, skunk, like it loud and funky. Every skunk strain is 20% off.
You know he's
Roadkill,
listening right now, too, right?
sweet,
And you're talking
and
over your
something
own
in between.
ad, James.
Skunks back in style, and we're here for it. Clearance seeds, buy one, get one free. Clear the vault, double your stash. Done deal. Clones for more your thing. iwantclones.com. Buy 3, get one free. Buy 3, get one free. Plus free shipping. You pick the fire, we ship it fast. Bonus alert: buy a pack of Strawbercots from Skunk House Genetics and get a free pack of Stoner Delight. Funky, fruity, flawless. Flash sales are flying in all month. Random, rare, and ready to go. Follow, subscribe, and don't blink. Stack your stash this fall at seedsherenow.com. Fresh drops, loud terps, and the deepest discounts in the game. Seeds Here Now, America's seed bank.
I know. I told him 2 more ads, man.
They're fucking amazing. It's fucking amazing.
Oh, look
Awesome,
at that.
dude.
Clap.
He has that
slow clap.
completely
He gave you a
memorized.
slow clap. Yeah, that's kind of dangerous.
And get your Colt jacket, right?
Oh, we got another one sold and a mug. I don't know who it was.
Oh.
You guys can hear me. I got
Somebody out there.
Tyson here on the phone with me. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
We're going. We're building our.
Yeah.
What size was the jacket?
We can hear you now. What's going on, James?
Hey, James.
I just have Tyson on the phone.
Did you? Oh, good. What do you say? Hey,
Hey.
schedule 3.
We missed it.
Schedule 3.
What did he say, James?
I'm playing it, but I guess you guys can't hear it somehow.
Oh,
No, we can't.
no, we
Your
can't
AI,
hear it.
your AI bot is trying to do a Tyson.
The Zoom must be taking it out as background noise.
I
Bummer.
did send somebody
Ooh.
to iwantclones.com.
Oh, look at that. Oh, and I got a guy who ordered $300 worth of seeds off of seedsherenow.com yesterday. So there you go. How's that? How's that?
It's a freak show, and they've got some other stuff coming up. And for listeners, so with the Super Deluxe came out last week, right? Sold out over the weekend.
Who's that from?
Biggest Super Deluxe is from Indian Land Race Exchange.
Oh, nice.
Oh, fuck
Oh, yeah. Former guest on the Adam Dunn Show. You got to say it like that every time.
Yeah.
We'll have him here back in a couple of weeks. He's going to come back and join us.
Cool.
But his special project, the Super Deluxe, came out last week, sold out.
That the
in 4
purple?
days.
Is that the crazy purple one that was like the pinky
it's
one?
on,
The
it's
pink.
on the homepage of the website.
There's like a pink one he had. Was that?
Yeah, it's like purplish, pinkish,
Yeah,
just
it was-
all kinds of beautifulness.
And James, with his genetics, are you still doing the same thing where you're keeping 2 back and one might have wind up in the vault?
We were
someday?
busy.
No.
Because
Busier again.
of all the breeders you've ever had on,
So speaking of this vault, right? So
Uh-oh.
after
Somebody broke into the vault.
oh shit!
no.
Am I
no.
touching
After a certain
nerve?
time, these vaults get big and they get expensive to keep in fucking actual banks.
I get it. I get
Seeds
it.
have a shelf life.
Okay.
And so I'm killing my stuff by holding onto it and not letting it go out for the public.
I
So
understand.
starting next quarter, we're going to start doing redrops. I'm going to redrop all my old collections.
You heard it here first. That's breaking news.
Drop.
Breaking news. They're not even paying attention.
Worldwide.
Vinny's ready on the guitar to end the show. He's like, fuck, get to the end so I can play the fucking guitar over the thing that, yeah.
Get high.
Can't
Catch
wait.
a buzz.
It's going to be big. We'll go through each breeder each week.
No,
kinda
we were
like,
busy.
You know, it'll be like every pack that I have from Exotic from 2014 to 2022. We'll just
I finally got a break.
choose out the website for sale.
That's super cool. So
Every top dog pack, all of them.
could you how big of a fridge does a
Walk-in.
company like you, a whole walk-in, like a commercial size?
And lots of AC. Like lots of AC. You think I was growing weed on the outside of my fucking
Wow.
warehouse?
It's in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Undisclosed location.
Super cool.
Just relax, bro.
And a lot of those little robot things like they have at Amazon going around, scooting around, picking up
No,
packs,
I got
sending them out.
2 guys. 2 guys.
Mark on a forklift.
Or it's like a Roomba, one Roomba with a little basket on top, and you send it across the room. Go pick up the seeds. No. Very
But
nice.
yeah, they're doing those here. The whole next quarter, it'll be a 3-month thing. We'll drop a new breeder each week. We'll have all kinds of deals. But the Super Deluxe, I was able to secure 50 more packs from Irazine.
Irazine. I think it's Irazine. Irazine. You gotta say it like your Frenchy cannoli.
And they've got to come from that neck of the woods.
Be
So
busy.
it'll be, we're doing back orders and they'll ship before October 1st.
Damn.
Right on.
Very nice, very nice.
The one and only reputable seed breeder in the whole industry.
Not a breeder,
SeedsHereNow.com.
he's
Boom.
Not a
I'm
breeder,
sorry,
not a breeder.
bank. Sorry,
he
misspoke.
almost had it. He came so
See,
close.
You almost
Bang.
had it,
He
dude.
almost made a whole sentence.
And what happens,
You didn't
Vinny,
memorize your
when
ad
you
like I did.
Vinny, when you want some clones? Where do you go?
To Adam's house.
Clones are
I
better.
want clones.
I mean, the first time
right now.
a grow
I mean,
partner
somewhere.
ever turned me on to Seeds Here Now,
Yeah.
I was so blown away, like we both were, that the seed came, as I recall, the next day. And he just ordered one seed
You
just to
guys
try
are
it
so
out.
good.
An individual seed.
Hand delivered.
He was like, for $9, let's just try it, see what happens.
Oh, Vinny almost got us to end the show real quick. He put the guitar down. Adam would have been like right away. Boom, boom.
What happened now?
Nothing. He wants to go back
No,
and run his
that happens.
business.
A lot of people will buy one time out just to see if you're legit, see
okay.
if you're going to ship him something, and then they'll come in, like the next order will be $800.
that's exactly how we did it, you know?
SeedsHereNow.com. There we go.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you, James.
Patreon.
Yep. Join us,
Sir, come
Patreon.
on, hang out.
$5 afterwards.
Come hang out on Patreon.
Yeah.
Look, I'm already sending videos.
Yep. Already sending videos.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. That was fun.
Thank you, Mark.
Sweet,
Didn't even get to
dude.
see Dave go. I was waiting to see Dave get taken down on the mat, but maybe on another show.
Yeah, different show.
Different show. We even brought the
I'm
mat and everything
injured.
right there. I was ready.
I'm already broken. You can't break me anymore.
I was gonna do a top rope kind of thing. I had it already figured out, but then I was like, no.
No, that would have been belittling to Elliot.
I know exactly. I kept it
Thank you for
classy.
that.
I kept
Classy.
it classy.
That was great. I didn't realize until that moment when you said Octagon and I knew
Yeah.
this table.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're right here. Exactly.
There we go. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate
And
you
the
giving
mood
up time
mat.
on your
and
Friday
the mood
night.
mat was on the Octagon. Just
Hey,
like I said.
now that the show's over, click that like and subscribe button and help support Mark, because if we actually do figure out a way to monetize YouTube, Mark's getting a little of that.
No.
Okay.
Every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove.
Don't do this for anyone.